What's up, guys? So we don't know ball rankings episode with our other co-host Gunner and our guest Retro. Again,
Okay.
week by week, I will always say
it's a washed joke, bro. Just move on. On to the next. Continue.
Hi, I'm Jules Compton on TikTok. Here's Justin again, Gunner and Retro. Talking about basketball this week, and like I said, talking about rankings. And this is around the time where the NBA, the media writers, and all this kind of stuff talk about MVPs and stuff like that. But I wanted to take a slight switch on it and talk about our top 5 rookies for the year, have some honorable mentions, show, the people love, because I think consensus, we all know who are probably going to be the top 2. Talk about the best players in the world, not MVP candidates, best players, and then the top teams, the contenders in both the East and the West, and ranked in our 10. But before we get into that, Retro, Justin, Gunner, how are we doing today on this fine Monday?
Beautiful. I always love a list episode. It's always great to have Gunner. Appreciate you coming in as per usual, bro. Great.
The wrong person is saying that to the wrong person right now.
Holy yap. Holy yap. Anyways, great to have you, bro. Great to be on here. I love list making episodes specifically, so this is going to be really fun. I can't wait to get into
it. And before you go, Gunner, for people who are watching, please go subscribe to the Post Control. Our host here, Gunner. I do help out from that. I do that from time to time. Please subscribe. He's a Celtics fan. He talks Celtics stuff there, and we talk a lot of basketball and the historical side of things. So please go sub to him, show him love. Go on his lives on TikTok if you want. He's a great person.
Appreciate that, Jules. I'm having a great day now. Got a lot of my chest earlier on my episode of that about stuff that's going on, but we're having a good day and I'm excited for this.
I'm glad to hear. Justin?
Well, it's Monday.
Yeah,
it is Monday.
It is Monday.
It's Monday. I mean, that's about all I got for you. I'm doing better than Trae Young is. That's what I can tell you. I am doing better than Trae Young is. 0 minutes, 1 ejection. That's got to be a new record.
That is definitely a new record. And again, before we get in the list, just some small, not substantially small, we can talk about the Trae Young ejection first. Justin, because I know you want to talk to that. Please lead the way on that.
I love to see it because he would have never done this shit in Atlanta. He would never have done this shit in Atlanta. He would have never had anybody's back in Atlanta. He didn't give a fuck about Atlanta.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck about Atlanta. Nobody gives a fuck. There aren't Hawks fans. You can't convince me that there are Hawks fans. Maybe in a couple years,
you're not real.
Maybe in a couple years when those younger players develop, if they develop, Jalen Johnson, you're a fraud. I would just like to see all these teams' fan bases start actually backing their shit, because if Trae Young is showing you that there's an actual problem with your franchise because he's out here backing the youngest core in the NBA when he hasn't even played a fucking game with this team, so he barely really knows these guys, it shows a lot, and it actually speaks more to Trae Young's character and actually that how flawed Atlanta is, that Trae wasn't actually acting like a diva. He could go back to diva tendencies once he's playing again, but you would have never seen him stick his neck out for a teammate like that in Atlanta, ever.
And to add on to that point, too, because Gunnar and I were talking about this, it definitely shows a lot of merit for Trae Young's character that he is coming back for the season, or at least trying to get reps with the young guys, because, again, he basically, I don't care what you guys say, I think he did quit on Atlanta. I do really think that.
Atlanta quit on Trae Young. It's different.
I think it's twofold to that, but I do think that Trae Young wanting to come back and getting reps to the young guys shows a lot of leadership and him wanting to build that young core. So, again, I do not like Trae Young. I do not like his play style, but shout out to him.
I hope he's doing it just to prove that he's the actual leader there and it's not Anthony Bum-Ass Davis. So I really hope that that's the reason why he's doing it. He's coming back to do it that way.
I'm really happy for Trae. I think this shows, again, like you were saying, Justin, that he's trying to be a leader. Just with that. Also, it shows that he does care about this young core itself. Like they can building this chemistry. This can go a long way for this team for next season as a whole. Not saying they're going to be that 3, 4, 5 seed like people are putting on paper for next year, but this definitely could push them to be a 6 seed to a play-in team for next year.
I mean, yeah, I agree. The way that I see it is, it's like, I think that Trae Young probably views this as like, yes, he's like the veteran in this locker room with a bunch of young guys, but he's also only 27. So the way he sees this is like, listen, I've probably got 3 or 4 years left in my prime. I really believe, like, with this young roster, I can lead these guys and elevate them, and we can really do something. And I think Trae Young is probably desperate just to win, because he never had that in Atlanta. And so that's why he's going out and caping for these guys, because he really believes they have a shot to do something. I think it bodes very well for the Wizards, like, in general, that they have a leader that's willing to do that. I said that I think next year the Wizards will be a 6 to 8 seed, somewhere in that range. I think this team is a very well-built roster, and a lot of people were saying, well, what if Trae Young just kind of, is only going here for whatever reason and kind of just quits again? I don't think that's going to be the case, and I think this was kind of proof of that. I think he really does view these guys as some people that, he can help to motivate and elevate and get them somewhere, and I think he really is going to cape for him pretty hard.
I agree.
Yep.
Well, we can slide from the good merit player to probably the biggest douchebag in basketball.
Yeah.
Can we please?
Yes.
Absolutely. We can definitely talk about how Lou Dort is trying to out Zaza Pachulia at this point. And it's almost funny to me because I did watch something about this, and it's like, it's not that he's just like out here playing reckless. He's intentionally attacking the best player on the other team. Like, he's not just going out here and he's not just, he's playing hard defense, it's a hard foul, or it's incidental contact, he's just playing defense. This motherfucker is going out of his way to be an asshole. Yeah. This man is trying to hurt the best player on the other team every game.
And specifically, as far as that's concerned, go after specifically where that player just came back from injury. He was trying to hurt Jokic right where he was already hurt. This was very, very intentional. There are some Thunder fans, and I can't believe there are Thunder fans defending this. This is insane to me. There are some Thunder fans who are saying, oh, bro, it's just a hip check. Hip checks happen. It's basketball. It's physical. Nah, bro. He was going directly for where Jokic was hurt. He was trying to take him out of the game permanently. That was his goal with doing that. And it's absolutely insane to see Thunder fans defending this, especially because this isn't the first time Lou Dort has done this. He is starting to have a very disturbing pattern of doing things like this. And I listen, I'm not one to say a player should be thrown out of the league or whatever, but a suspension for a season should be on the table at this.
Yeah, well, like, I don't know about the suspension for a season, but I think a substantial suspension is fair. And I was a part of this conversation about the OKC fans defending this. It's like, well, you weren't showing the same stuff to Draymond. Yes, the fuck we were. Everybody in the league was on Draymond's ass when he was
person on this world that likes Draymond Green that isn't named Steph Curry or is a Golden State fan.
I think on this podcast, we've probably joked about how dirty Draymond is like a million times at one point or another. Like,
and Draymond Green is so accurate when it comes to kicking that he should be an NFL kicker.
Honestly,
and there's also merit to this where people are literally making compilations. And again, for the people who know me on TikTok, they'll sub to me, whatever, self-plug. But I literally had to go against an OKC fan of a video on YouTube making a compilation of what Dort has done, intentionally injuring people, the hip check, him going to Wemby's leg, him hurting Paul George, him landing in the landing space of Brandon Ingram.
Please tell me this is a certain biased OKC fan that I already don't like.
It's a certain biased OKC fan for sure, but it's not who I think you think it is.
It's not the.
He's
It's
from
not
across
the
the
guy who.
pond.
It's not. Oh, well, that's even worse.
Yeah.
Anybody across the pond should stick to watching Premier League footy.
But that's where I get such anger from is the OKC fans that are defending it, because it's not like, again, we try to keep it consistent for basketball, and if anybody does that to somebody else, dirty play, that shouldn't happen. But if it happens once or twice, okay, that could have been just situational, circumstantial, okay, bad luck, move on. Lou Dort's been doing this for 2 years now, and
sorry.
it comes to a point where Dort's on a contract year now, and OKC fans have seen him and don't think that he's been as impactful as he was last year, because he's been a 40% three-point shooter. Now he's well below league average from the field goal and from three. Like, you're looking bad to where you're going to be a free agent and nobody's going to want you on your fucking team because of your mentality. And that's what you do.
Yep.
No, I was going to say, I also think that Thunder fans aren't actually thinking about the ramifications of this moving forward, because I think a lot of people, and we all make jokes about Jokic not caring about the game, whatever be the case. Jokic has done interviews. The guy clearly cares about basketball, obviously. You can't be as good as he does without caring about basketball.
No.
Jokic himself has gone into interviews and said, yeah, this game has basically become my life. And so, as far as this is concerned, we saw a look in his eyes when he was looking at Lou Dort that I don't know if any of us have ever seen him look like before. And I'm just saying, if they go to a playoff series, like, I guarantee you, what Lou Dort did to Jokic is in the back of his mind the entire time. I'm just saying, as far as, listen, Thunder fans, there's this thing, and Justin, not to throw shade at your guy, but when somebody decides to poke the bear, and you poke the bear, and then that bear wakes up and drops 40 on your head, don't be surprised when it happens, is all I'm saying.
I hate you.
I'm just putting that out there.
It didn't happen in Phoenix, so I don't really care.
No, I'm just putting that out there. You gotta listen.
Our rookie Dylan Brooks this year looks really good.
Yeah. No, but Jokic is, if they play, whenever they play against each other, he's going to play angry and he's going to play to destroy them. That's
either that or his brothers are going to be in the fucking crowd again, and they're going to come ready to fucking whoop that ass.
Gunnar, what's your opinions about the Dort stuff?
It's just disappointing. Like, these plays, they're dirty as fuck, don't get me wrong. A lot of the times, though, it seems like he's trying to intentionally injure someone. At least a good percent of the time. We saw the Paul George stuff. There's the John Morant undercut. There's this Jokic thing. There's the landing zones shit. I'm just saying, this is not the way to play basketball. It's just not a great watch either. I care about physicality, but I don't care about wanting to hurt another player.
I'm in agreement. And for the people who, for the old heads that also I've heard that defend Lou Dort because, they're bringing it back to the 90s. I don't give a fuck. Like, there's physical times of play, and I do think that there is physicality, specifically the last 2 or 3 years when it comes to playoff basketball. The physicality is ramped up. But there is a line where it needs to be drawn, and Lou Dort passes that line every single time. Draymond Green passes that most of the time. It's just not okay for basketball.
Well, and to be clear, for the people that are saying this, the older people, it wasn't cool then when Bill Laimbeer was trying to literally kill Michael Jordan on the court. That wasn't cool either. Like, I get that, like, they yearn for the old days or whatever. Be consistent. It wasn't cool then either. It's not cool when you're trying to literally take a player out of the game by injuring them. That's never been cool. I get that they're trying to, it's like a yearning for the old days where it's like, oh, well, back in my day, we used to have, like, the rules where people would just fight you or whatever. That wasn't cool, bro. We want to see players play. We don't want to see players hurt.
Yeah, I'm in agreement. 100%. Any last points before we officially start our lists?
Yeah, Dort the Dork needs to be suspended 20 games and not a season.
Bring back David Stern.
He would be to the sun, dude.
Gunner, no. David Stern could never dap up rookies like Adam Silver.
That's true. You're right. You're right.
That is true.
Adam Silver got like the weirdest fucking aura I've ever seen in my life, and it's just not okay.
I agree.
Eliminate the draft, Adam Silver. Thank you.
Yeah, eliminate the only thing you're good at as a commissioner you can get rid of. That'd be impressive.
To start our list off.
Here we go.
Let's start with the rookies first, because let's work our way up. Top 5 rookies, and I think we all, at least most of us, have some honorable mentions.
5. Oh,
I know.
Well, I have a top 10 rookie list.
I have 7 players. I don't know about Gunner, and I don't know about Retro, but I have 7 guys. We want to go with our honorable mentions first and just talk about it.
I've only got 5, so you guys can.
I can start since I have my 10.
Yeah, y'all go ahead with your honorable mentions for sure.
So I'm just gonna work backwards from 10 to 6, and then save the top 5 so we can talk about it this way.
Let's do that.
At 10, I have Kalkbrenner.
Okay.
At 9, I have Demon.
Yeah.
Okay.
At 8, I have Boyles.
Okay.
At 7, I have Trey Jones.
Mm-hmm.
And Trey Johnson, sorry. And at 6, I have Harper.
Yep.
Okay. I have for 7, I have Cedric Coward, and for 6, I have Dylan Harper. I think they both have great value especially when Harper's been playing with that second unit with the Spurs, and Colin Coward getting a lot of tick early in the
Cedric,
year because John.
I don't want to hear Colin's name ever on this damn podcast. Make sure
he's Colin.
Get this name right.
I'm gonna call him Colin's name until. Right. Well, regardless, I think he's been very in the time that he has been those 2 months in, I believe it was November and December when Ja was out, he was getting great production, even though the Memphis Grizzlies aren't great. There's a lot of potential there being a good wing, and hopefully him, Scottie Pippen Jr., and Jalen Wells and Zach Edey become a really good young core.
You moved to Ty Jerome?
I'm very moved Ty Jerome.
Shout out Ty Jerome.
Shout out to Ty Jerome. I will still never forget the time I ripped your rookie card in your face.
Ty Jerome, you are my glorious king.
In your rookie year. That was the most impressive.
Crazy. That's
Thank
crazy.
you for the natty glorious king.
Some lore behind this podcast. When one of the first stories Justin told me was specifically that, and I laughed for 10 minutes. I'm like, I
should DM Ty Jerome and see if he'd be willing to come on. I think he'd respond, and I think he'd probably laugh and then say, "How many followers do you have?" Because he's a clout chasing little bitch.
Not true. Ty Jerome is the greatest. He won us a national.
I'm sure. Because again, Retro, on this podcast, we talk about irrelevant sports, not NBA professional sports, right?
Ty Jerome is goated.
You're right, because he played at a college you support. College means nothing.
Ty Jerome.
College means nothing in the pros.
I love you, Ty.
Okay. So Retro, who do you have for number 5? We'll just kind of go across the room.
I've got Dylan Harper.
You have Dylan Harper? Gunner?
Yeah.
I'm going Hugo Gonzalez myself. I don't care if it's the bias I have or whatnot, but for me, it's the impact he's provided in these big minutes he's providing.
I'm so glad he gets
on off numbers.
I'm so glad that advanced metrics make this dude look so much better.
I'm not even using them.
Justin, who's at your 5?
Cedric Coward.
That's a good one.
At my 5, I have Colin Murray Boyles.
Okay.
I think he's baby Draymond.
Yeah, he's no better. I'm sorry. His impact right now is no better than Trey Johnson's, and that's why he's below Trey Johnson on my list.
God, don't ever call anybody baby Draymond again, please.
Hey, I've been moved by what I've been watching for the Raptors stuff.
Yeah,
he's number 4. Don't compare him to Draymond.
He's a better version of Trace Jackson Davis, is what he is.
That's gross. Number 4. Retro.
Yeah, I've got Derek Quinn.
Gunner.
I have Derek Queen as well.
Justin.
I have VJ Edgecombe.
Interesting.
I also have Derek Queen at number 4. Number 3. Retro.
Yeah, personally, I consider the top 3 to be a lock, and for number 3, I have VJ Edgecombe.
Gunner.
I have VJ as well.
Justin.
I don't consider it to be a lock. I think you can swap 3 and 4. I think Derek Queen's impact is just as good, if not more, than Edgecombe. Edgecombe's inconsistencies and inabilities to do things when his team is down. He looks good when they're good. He does not. He might be the definition of the streakiest player in the NBA right now. And it's when it's good, and when it's bad, it's bad.
But I don't mind.
Give him credit
That's
for his
totally
goods,
fair.
Which
I
is
don't
why
mind it because Derek Queen plays for the
which
Pelicans.
is why I have Derek Queen at 3.
Yeah,
No,
I mean,
that's
he plays
fair.
for the Pelicans, so he's going to have more measurable impact. I don't mind it.
I also want to be clear that. Go ahead. I want to be clear here. When after 1 and 2 are not close. I hope everyone understands this. 1 and 2 are not close, and 2 is not close to 1. I want that to be very, very clear when I say this.
I have VJ at my 3. Retro number 2.
I've got Cooper Flag at my number 2.
Gunner.
I'm going Con Knipple. I'll be the bad guy.
Justin.
Yeah, I'm just going to say that Cooper Flag is actually 3A and Edgecombe is 3B. There is no number 2.
And, for 2, I also have. And then 1 is obviously going to be the inverse, Retro.
Yeah, I've got Con.
Gunner.
And it's not
I got
close.
Flag.
Justin.
It's Con and it's not close.
I have Coop.
I would like to say that as
It's the
far as
leading
this
and
is
the impact of winning.
the fact that Con Knipple is shooting 44% from 3 on huge volume and Cooper Flag is shooting 30% makes me very suspect.
As a point guard, mind you, too, Retro. As a point guard.
Listen, bro, I think they're both great. Coop needs to develop a 3-point shot, man. It's got to happen.
Yeah,
That's
no,
fair.
Con. I know that we've talked about it before. Like Con's off-ball shot making has been tremendous for this Hornets team that really needed it. And he's just been a great off-ball scorer for them. Like he's been fantastic. I just think I'm just valuing. I think Cooper's ceiling a little bit more, and I do think that the impact of winning leads towards Con. That's why it's a conversation. Like Con, I think it just overtook the leader for the Rookie of the Year, which again I think is fine.
See, it's funny you say that, Jules, because I actually ranked my top 10 rookies on impact of winning, ceiling, future ability, and again, I don't see Cooper Flag developing. I'm going to say this right now. And this could be the hottest take we hear on this podcast ever. I think Cooper Flag peaked in high school. So I can be that guy. I'm just at the point where I haven't seen any, I'm going to be honest with you, I haven't seen any development in his game in the last 5 years.
Interesting. Okay.
As somebody who has followed the high school classes when they are coming out and when they have these big hype names like this, I do it every time there's a touted prospect out of high school. I did it when Bryce Harper got drafted in the MLB as a high school kid, seeing how it goes. Did it when LeBron was drafted. I've done this. I've done the research on these.
That's a clip. That is a clip.
I'm just saying, I think personally that Flag just hasn't really developed. I mean, if anything, the only thing he's developed is maybe slightly better ball handling because he's running a guard position. The passing has always been there. The shot's been inconsistent. He's an okay finisher, but I think he's scared to use his body right now. I think he needs to start playing more physical basketball as a wing that plays point guard, because once he starts to use his body, then maybe I can close that gap between him and Con. But Con right now is the more polished NBA-ready rookie player, and he's proven it.
Okay. Time will tell.
Time will tell. Also, here's the other thing with it. Like I said, for distance going down the line, if Khan starts to get misused or whatever, do you know what benefits Khan Knipple can have down the line for, 10-year places? He can be a corner shooter. He can just go spot up. He don't have to have the ball. So longevity-wise, already knowing that and the way the game is played, Khan could have a way longer career than Cooper Flag.
Yeah. That's
again fair. Any other things before we move on to our teams?
Yeah, the rest of this rookie class has sure been a fucking letdown outside of these two, and then
That's a fair
10
point.
VJ Edgecombe games.
That's a fair
Literally.
point.
Literally. So with our top 10 teams, again, I know I had some honorable mentions, and this is where I think we get to discuss the teams and discuss the players a little bit more, what we value and that kind of stuff. Does anybody have some honorable mentions that did not make their top 10 that they want to talk about?
I mean, I know I have two. Justin has two. Jules, I don't know if you have two.
I have 2/3.
Okay. Yeah.
Gunnar, do you have 2?
I got none.
We can let Justin go first.
Yeah. So I'll start. Man, a team that should be top 10, but just can't stay healthy when it comes to their top 3 players. Man, I just don't know if anyone's really a fan of their team. No one ever really talks about them. They're definitely, when healthy, the scariest 7-game set team in the league, but they can't stay healthy.
Yep.
Yeah, my Suns are in a really fucking weird spot right now, so they have to be honorable mention. You could argue this team, and you guys can say I'm insane for it. You can argue this team anywhere from 7 to 15, and I'd probably be okay with it, for the simple fact that when they're playing all together, they feel like they're unstoppable. But when they lose a guy, or Dylan Brooks gets into foul trouble early, and then they don't have the ability to bank on anybody else, I'll be honest with you, I've never been more shocked that a team is getting carried by Grayson Allen and Colin Gillespie and is over 500. It's actually amazing to me how good my team is playing after the cutting the dead weight of Bradley Beal and the dead weight of Twitter Fingers McGee in Houston. So
no, I'm with you 100%. And I originally, when I was making my list earlier in the year, and when we were talking about this off screen, I had Phoenix around that 9-10 spot, and it's because of Jordan Knott's ability to be able to make them as one of the better defenses in the NBA with the role players that they have, the rotations, the schemes that they're going up against these ISO scorers has been so moving to me that they had to be in consideration, that they could take some games out of the West in some way or the other. And unfortunately, again, like Justin said, because the injuries for his team, I think that there is going to be a drop off. There is some still, they are still in games. Shout out to the Lakers choking that and Royce O'Neal owning the Lakers. But I think when it comes to play-in time, and if they do make the offs and they face either OKC or importantly, I said this in San Antonio, if Brooks isn't there and if Booker has been looking like how Booker is, it's going to be very hard for me to say that they were going to be an underrated team. So yeah, I'm in agreement with Phoenix as one of my honorable mentions. Was there another team, Justin or Retro, that you guys wanted to say outside of Phoenix?
Yeah, the guys that you were really high on, the team that should be playing better, but I mean, who knew the loss of a role player center was such a big killer in the middle of the year? I don't know how this team really fell out of the top 10, but they did. Toronto, I mean, they with that big 3 of duplicate players that they have there, and I'm calling it a big 3 because when they are on, they are just nuclear. They are unbelievable. We talked about Boyles earlier in the role that he's been able to fill as a rookie when people have been injured or people aren't playing as well. He's done his job. But, yeah, I mean, Jules, you were so damn high on this team for the first fucking 2 months, and you had every right to be. Scotty Barnes was playing out of his... I almost said the words you can't say on... Never mind. But yeah, it's just it's insane to me how I called it. I said this team was riding a high and they were just going to go straight into the dumps, and they just keep falling and falling and falling. They're playing as bad as the Orlando Magic were, and that's insane to say.
That's fair.
My other team, and I'm gonna get shit for this, and I can't wait. Is the Los Angeles Lakers. Is the honorable mention.
And that's the show. Y'all have a good night.
Cool.
I am so tired of this Lakers stuff, propaganda that people push out that the Lakers are fine and they're not flawed. And I will toot my horn and look right into the camera. I was right about DeAndre Ayton. It took you guys fucking 4 months to get there, but I was right about DeAndre Ayton. He can't even be Clint Capella. Clint Capella has more value on his team than you do. The fact that LeBron is holding them back, Austin Reeves is in and out of the lineup, Luka's having to try to carry this flawed offensive team with the lack of spacing. They are, by and far and large, one of the worst defenses I've ever fucking seen. And they're a 6th seed by a margin against Phoenix, who we just talked about, should be concerning. The only benefit that the Lakers have going down the stretch is that they have one of the easiest schedules left in the NBA. So that record that they're going to end up having is going to be heavily bolstered by the sub 500 teams that they play. And cool, you can have the best record against sub 500 teams in the NBA. That doesn't mean shit when you get into the playoffs, when you're playing against over 500 teams. The Lakers are heavily flawed, and they could drop. Again, they could easily drop because, again, Phoenix is breathing down their neck, and they don't have Dylan Brooks and they don't have Devin Booker. That should be extremely concerning. Justin.
I'm still backing my take as hot as it is. The Lakers are missing the playoffs completely.
Uh-oh.
The Lakers are missing the playoffs. Here's my thing. If Luka's gonna go out and give you 44, 8, and 7, and you're still gonna lose a game, especially when you lose a game to a guy who shot 2 for 11 and 1 for 10 from 3 and hits a game winner, and he's also a terrible shooter, a certified bum, a waste of a contract, and a waste of a draft pick. Yeah. Yikes. You guys can't close for shit. You're banking on white boy magic between Luka and Austin Reeves is just there half the time because he plays 125% every fucking game, even when he's not fully healthy, and he goes out and beats the shit out of his body. And then Luka's out here, and I'm sorry, Laker fans, Luka's out here half-assing it and putting up these numbers. So I can't. I'm so fucking over the Lakers. I don't want to hear you guys talk about any playoffs, any championships, anything until a bum-ass James is off your fucking team.
Yeah, and like I said, they could probably make the playoffs because of strength of schedule, just because they're going to beat up on the bad teams. But again, it's concerning when Phoenix is breathing down your neck like they are. They're only a game and a half back. Like, there's a real possibility that when they're in the play-in, they lose against the Warriors. They lost against the Warriors earlier this year. Or the Clippers somehow do something. Or the fucking Trailblazers. There's a possibility. There's anything that can happen about this Lakers team. This is a fraudulent team. This is a completely flawed team. You Lakers fans need to fucking calm down. They're not doing shit in the West.
We're also talking directly to you, AB.
LOL. So, number 10.
I was going to say I have honorable mentions as well.
Okay, Retro, I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. It's kind of already touched on. So my 2 honorable mentions are the Suns. Justin said, it's just the injuries. I whenever they're healthy, I think they're dangerous, but the injury problems are annoying. My other honorable mention is the Lakers. They're top-heavy. LeBron is holding them down, and their fans are delusional. That's all I have to say.
Yeah.
This team is the 15th best team in the NBA. Stop putting them in honorable mention conversations. They're literally the 15th best team in the NBA.
Number 10. We'll kind of do the same thing, but we'll go into depth on reasons why we have these teams at each position. We'll do the same thing. Retro, start us off, and then we'll go down.
Yeah, so my number 10 team is the Raptors. I think they're very solid. I kind of buy into the Jules narrative a little bit. I think Scotty has been playing really, really well this year. I think they're kind of meshing around him. They've won 5 of their last 8. And if you look at those losses, 2 of them were to the Spurs by 3 and the Thunder by 9. This Raptors team is showing they can compete with the best teams in the league. They're on a bit of a hot streak. I like what I see out of them. I think they mesh well, and so for me, they just make my top
10. Gunner.
I'm gonna get so much hate for this.
4 in their last 10. What hot streak?
Like I said, 5 of their last 8, and 2 of those losses were by 3 and by 9 to the 2 best teams in the league. So for me, it's a pretty good streak of games.
Yeah, Gunner.
I'm about to get a lot of hate. Give me the New York Knicks. New York for me is I'm only moved by 3 players on that team at the moment, and it's been OG all season, it's been Jalen Brunson, and it's Mitchell Robinson. Otherwise, I'm not moved by the inconsistent man of Karl Anthony Towns. I'm not moved by Mikal Bridges playing the full 82 games. I think they can easily get first rounded this year, even with that high seed. So I'm not high on the Knicks. I think they're frauds. That's all I'm going to say.
Justin?
Yeah, see, so Gunner, you thought you're going to get some shit for your 10th seed.
Oh, fuck.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I introduce you to a team that has been probably the hottest team since 2 weeks before the All-Star break? Let me get them Charlotte Hornets at the 10 spot.
Okay.
I like it.
Let me get the team that's playing the most complete basketball out of any team in the NBA without superstar power. Captained and led by, not LaMelo Ball, not Con Knipple. Oh yeah, the leader of the team, the most important player, the most valuable player to their team, Miles Bridges. And for anybody that wants to argue that point, I'm not even going to waste the words on you. You can pull up and we can scrap, because not only do you not know basketball, but you're not watching Charlotte Hornets games, Glore. You're not paying attention to what these other players are doing, Glore. You're not watching games. So this team is great. And honestly, I don't care what the guy is doing. If they could replace Brandon Miller with literally anybody else that can do exactly what Brandon Miller's doing, this team would be a hell of a lot better. Because his shot diet is probably just as bad as Cade Cunningham's at Cade Cunningham's level. And, well, Miller is just not simply even a top 50 player in the NBA. So you should not be shooting the way you're shooting. Stop shooting. Your team will play better than they already are. I can catch all the flack in the world for putting Charlotte here, but Charlotte is the dark horse team to make some noise. They're not going to win a championship. They might not even win a playoff series. But if you're a fringe bubble team right now banking on a play-in, this team will break your heart by the end of the year. I promise you that.
I think that's an extremely good shout, Justin. I did not have them here, but I heavily considered it. Been high on Charlotte, because we've discussed on the podcast what they do very, very well. So I'm appreciative that you.
Which is crazy enough.
Everything.
They do everything well.
Yeah. I'm still on the Toronto thing at 10. I know that we talked about that they've been inconsistent. But through specifically 2 players that are outside their big 3 that we talked about that have been moving me over the past 10 games has been Emmanuel Quickly. Been shooting the lights out the past 10 games. I think his 3-point percentage is like 5% more than what he has averaged, as well as finally Jakob Poeltl starting to come back, and him and his defensive presence, specifically against the Spurs, against Wemby, I think was very underrated. So I like Toronto, and it's a very, very specific matchup that I have them beating a certain team that I will talk about soon. But I do think that Toronto can probably be a second round team depending on matchup. Shout out to the Raptors, and hopefully they prove the haters wrong. Number 9, Retro. Who do you have?
Yeah, I'm kind of on the same wavelength as Gunner here. Number 9 is the Knicks. I can't prove it yet, but they're frauds. I've been saying this for a long time now. I don't think Jalen Brunson's style of play is conducive to winning in the playoffs. I think he's way too score first. I don't think he's a good enough playmaker. And you combine that with the fact that
he's a fucking tone.
You combine that with the fact that and Cat has been inconsistent all year. It's just like I don't know. Like I'm kind of forced to put them in my top 10 because like they're winning a lot and fine. But I swear they're frauds. Like I could if there was any team I'm confident in saying that for, because there are some people that have this team winning the East. I would be shocked if the Knicks won the East. I would be flabbergasted. And so that's why I have them at 9.
I'm so glad you said the exact wording you just said, because now I don't have to say that at all. At the 9 spot, I have the Cleveland Cavaliers, because guess what? They are frauds, and I can't prove it yet, but I know. And teams and people think that this is the team that's going to win the Eastern Conference. Shut the fuck up. Shut up. Donovan Mitchell can't stay healthy.
He's calling you out right now directly.
Donovan Mitchell can't stay healthy, and James Harden is a playoff-dropping choke artist. Fuck out of here. I don't care what this team can finish the regular season as. Bro, no, literally, Jules, this is to everyone that's backing this team except you. Know your role and shut your mouth. Like, I'm over it. This team is nothing. You're going to have Mobley, who's not going to translate in the playoffs, just like last year. Oh, wait, crap. You're going to have Donovan Mitchell not translate in the playoffs, just like last year. Oh, wait, crap. They got rid of Garland and brought in a point guard who plays better but chokes harder, crazy enough. Yeah, no, I don't want to hear nothing about this fucking team. I'm so over hearing that this is the favorite to win the East, especially with a certain, the new school Agent Zero coming back to the Shamrocks later on this week. No, fuck this team. Fuck Cleveland. Fuck Donovan Mitchell. I'm over it. I can't. I'm sorry.
Gunner?
Clip that.
For me, I've been going back and forth between 8 and 9. However, 9, I'm going with the Houston Rockets. Houston Rockets, after losing Steven Adams, they still, I think, can push a team to 6, maybe 7 games in the playoffs, but
fucking do it. God damn it.
Damn it. But at the same time, I don't think they can make it out the first round. They're the 3 seed at the moment, if I'm correct. But yeah. I think they lost their most valuable asset at the center position at the moment in Steven Adams. And I just don't think they go anywhere without him myself.
Number 9, I also have that fraud-ass team in New York, the Knicks. Not only has nobody in NBA Cup history who has won the NBA Cup gotten out of the first round, is that now you're heavily dependent on 2 guys who cannot play defense worth a shit in Jalen Brunson and Karl-Anthony Towns, and they get abused in certain actions day in and day out, and you're trying to subsede that with OG, McHale, and then Mitchell Robinson. And that is heavily flawed, because even though OG has been extremely valuable for that team, both offensively and defensively, his offensive inconsistencies has been there, and it's not going to be good for the playoffs. McHale's defensive inconsistencies has been there as well. And then Mitchell Robinson, who's been a solid backline defender for you guys, who rebounds the hell out of the ball, is great, but that motherfucker is worse than Shaq at the free throw line. So this team is completely flawed. Now the fact that you're definitely deeper than you were the year before, but outside of Tyler Kolek. You remember the 10 games of Tyler Kolek? Yeah, I don't fucking either. And then Deuce McBride, who's been really good for them, now basically not seeing tick from him. You signed Jeremy I am a terrorist Sohan. This team is completely fucking flawed, and this can be rolled by any of those bottom seeds in the East.
Fuck.
Just completely rolled. So I just don't believe in the Knicks. They're fraudulent as well. Number 8. Who wants to start?
Yeah, I guess we'll just keep going. Gunnar, I think, and I are on the same wavelength again. Number 8, I have the Rockets. I just like honestly, it's low key just on vibes. Like, I agree with the Steven Adams thing, but the vibe of the Rockets is not. It's felt weird ever since the KD files, and I feel like it's just like. I don't know. I was kind of waiting for that thing, Justin, the 94 Bulls where it's like everybody starts playing super hard. And you had it for the first game when you get back and Jabari drops like 32 and it's like, okay, well, maybe it's time to lock in and I don't know. It's like they're okay, but like I just feel like I don't know, again, they're a good team. They're top 8. And they've won 4 of their last 6. And one thing I do like about them is they're the second best in points per game allowed in the West. They're doing a pretty good job holding teams defensively. But it's just like, ultimately at the end of the day, like I don't think I can put them any higher than 8. I put them in my top 10 for sure, but higher than 8 is hard for me.
Okay.
Well, we're going to notice a trend with my list as we keep going up. This is where I have the Knicks. You're frauds, but you're not as fraudulent as Cleveland. Moving on.
Okay.
For me, this is where I have the Toronto Raptors. For me, the Toronto Raptors, I've been looking ahead, I guess, when I really made this list with how they're playing. The Raptors' defense translates so well to playoff-style basketball that they could make it to the Eastern Conference Finals with that type of play. The only issues I have with Toronto is their shooting and their half-court offense tendencies. Otherwise, I'm fucking moved.
Fair. Jesus Christ, I'm agreeing with the guest on fucking We Don't Know Ball. This is where I have Houston as well.
Yeah, as you should. You mean the co-host. Yeah, as you should.
He did not misspeak.
No, he did miss. Because I am the star. Now continue. Thank you.
All
No,
right,
you
mascot.
aren't the star. You actually agreed to being the mascot. Therefore,
Thank you for agreeing with me. Continue.
This is not
so why
Colts where blue is the most relevant thing in your franchise. Sorry, not sorry.
Relax. Let's get through these lists. So why I have the Rockets here, Steven Adams, yet I do agree. I disagree about the KD file stuff because you brought up the Jabari Smith Jr. stuff, and that's completely valid. And then he's kind of hasn't been. Reed Shepherd specifically, shout out to you. You almost got a triple double today, 19, 10, and 7, and then the other day you had 28, 5, and 5. Where this team is flawed is offensively because Amen Thompson can't shoot the basketball, and when you get to in these playoff series, when right now you're going to face, I believe, the Lakers. Okay, whatever. Disregarding that, if you face the Lakers, you're beating their ass.
How are they going to win the series?
If you're facing a team like Minnesota, like San Antonio, like OKC or Denver, they're putting their centers on Amen Thompson, and you're letting these centers roam. You're fucked. You're not going to be able to generate a half-court offense like that. You're completely fucked. So there needs to be a sublet of scorers who are coming off the bench. I think they desperately need to sign a big who's an offensive rebounding hound like Steven Adams was before the playoffs and let him ramp up. I don't know who that's going to be. I don't know who's even on the market, but they need that desperately. The Rockets are like 7 through 10 to me, I think are flawed. I think they have minimal flaws, but they're going to be exposed, I think, in the playoffs, which is unfortunate because the KD files were a thing. It would have been a funny argument that the KD's files propelled this team to a fucking championship. Number 7, who wants to start?
Yeah, so I think Justin just mentioned them, but number 7 I have the Cavaliers. I think that the James Harden addition is good. I think it's going to be good to have a guy like him that can help play make. I think Donovan Mitchell is amazing. I think Mobley is great. Before their last rough stretch, they won 7 straight, so I think they have the ability to be very good. They average the second most points per game in the East. They're very good offensively. I think the Cavaliers have a lot going for them. And I wouldn't be surprised if they did better than I expect. I wouldn't be surprised if you guys have them higher than I do. It's just for me, I feel like the top 6 teams I like a little bit more, but I think this Cavs team is very solid.
I think I need to go last. Gunnar, go.
I'm sorry. Number 7, I agree with Retro here. Except for me, I think the Cavs are second round frauds instead. I think New York's a first round exit team, whereas I think the Cavs are second round exits. My issue is just the James Harden effect in the playoffs. I think he'll be a great playmaker for them, don't get me wrong. But when the pressure's high with James Harden, I just don't see them going farther than the second round, especially in this form of with James Harden. So,
Okay. This is where I have the Timberwolves, Minnesota. Because speaking of frauds in the West, Minnesota is fraudulent. Outside of Anthony Edwards, you have Julius Randle, who stalls the offense. You have Rudy Gobert for stones for hands. And you still don't have a point guard, something you didn't solve. And mind you, you tried to get rid of Mike Conley. Guess what? He's back on the team. Even though he probably won't get picked, Ayo Dosunmu, who's been a good defender, cool. That's not going to be good enough for the playoffs. This is why I get so agitated in talking with Timberwolves fans specifically as of late. We feel like this Minnesota team has made 2 Western Conference Finals and all this kind of stuff. Cool, that's great. You can still regress from the year prior because you did not deal with your problems in the offseason and you neglected them, and you're just heavily relying on a young star who's still somewhat flawed with a supplement of Julius Randle and Rudy Gobert. The other concerning thing has been they heavily rely on Rudy Gobert minutes, which is cool. That's fine. Rudy Gobert is a great defensive center. Great. But when he's off the court, their defense falls off a cliff, and that's the Rudy Gobert effect. But if there's going to be teams who mismatch hunt and take him out of the paint, there's not enough defenders on that team who are going to be taking Jokic, like a Jokic can take him out, Wemby can take him out. Funny enough, Chet can take him out. So Rudy can be nullified in the series against the better Western Conference teams rather easily. You're going to have to be relying on Naz Reid and Julius Randle, who are just not great individual defenders to carry you. So I think other than Anthony Edwards, this has a lot of question marks that I just don't like. There's a lot of metrics that say the Timberwolves want to use to say they're good from 3, they're good in spacing. Cool, that's great. At the end of the day, your head coach is Chris Finch. He's a terrorist. He sucks. He's as bad as Tom Thibodeau. I'm not moved. Justin, go ahead.
All right. I have a feeling this is going to be one of the controversial ones. That I have them this far down. I said you were going to see a pattern. We went from Charlotte to Cleveland to New York. So, with the inconsistencies and the youth and the inability to fix these right now, 1 to 2 years, you guys will be a front runner pick for me. And I'm really, really high on your point guard. And I still think in 5 years he'll be an MVP, but I have Detroit this low. I have Detroit down here outside the top 5 at the 7 spot. They're not frauds. They're just young. There's too many holes in the game. They don't translate well to playoff basketball. Their half-court sets just are not developed. This is a run-and-gun team. I still think they're better than every team we've already named, but it's not by much, and it's going to be a rude awakening, especially with the other teams in the East that did get better and that are above you. As far as my list goes, that once it comes to playoff basketball, you guys are in a lot of trouble. You couldn't fix the problems from last year when you gifted the Knicks a fucking series, and it's just not. It's not your year. I'm sorry, Detroit fans. You just didn't make the right moves at the deadline to fix these holes and get the pieces you need to contend. And until you pair somebody with Cade who can shoot lights out that isn't named fucking Duncan Robinson, you guys will forever in my heart be a third best team in the East.
So we're on to
number 6.
Number 6. Yeah. So for my number 6, Jules, you just talked about them. I have the Timberwolves. So as far as they're concerned, they've won 6 of their last 7. Ant has played really, really well. Obviously, as per usual. They average the second most points per game in the West. They're doing really good offensively. I like the team a lot. It's just that, like, realistically in the West, it's like you said, Joel, they don't have a chance. Like, it gets to a point where it's like, you look at the main teams, like the big 3 teams in the West, and I'm like, do I see the Timberwolves having a shot in hell at any of these 3 teams? And it's like, no, I really don't. So, I rate them highly. Number 6 is still high, but it's just, they're not quite cracking my top 5.
And to be fair, before we do move on, I think Minnesota can push a lot of those teams to 6 or 7 games. I just don't have them winning.
Yeah, that's
fair. Oh,
Retro, you're gonna be fucking fired in a second. I swear to God.
Gunner.
Yeah, you can go to Gunner.
Sorry,
for me, I also have the Wolves here. My issue with the Wolves, one of them is Chris Finch. I don't think he's a coach even at all. I think they're relying really on their assistant coach myself. But at the same time, like you brought up, Jules, it's the Rudy Gobert effect with their defense. They're a top defense when he's playing, or bottom 15 when he's not? I don't know where in the bottom 15 off the top of my head.
Like
bottom 10? Yeah, it makes sense. Also, they're having to play a lot of clutch time in Minnesota with that team. I understand Anthony Edwards probably going to win Clutch Player of the Year because of that shit, but at the same time, I don't trust any team that's having to play that much clutch games.
I agree. Justin?
This is where I had Houston fall to. I do think that with everything that was mentioned earlier, that you are correct that they are hurting in places, but in the totality of basketball, and again, I might as well just wear a shirt that says hot take. In the totality of basketball, if you add college and the Olympics to your factoring scale, they have the greatest player to ever play the game on their team, regardless of his age. So when it comes down to it, Retro, you said it about the KD files and that it's going to hurt this team. No, this team has been working overtime to try to fix their mistakes, but they're doing it with a hit the ground running, so they're still going to make these mistakes. We have 20 games to polish it off and figure it out. I would like to see what this team can do. With this list, though, it still puts them as the 5th best team in the West, but that's because the West is fucking juiced. And you guys mentioned a lot of flaws, and you talked about certain players and their offensive ability. When do we get to start talking about that the problem with this team is actually Sengun? Because bringing in KD to play with Sengun was a terrible idea to begin with. They thought, oh my god, ultimate spacing, ultimate this. Sengun's been ass for this team. He has been terrible.
Sorry, Gunner.
To go off of what he did last year and to regress this hard in a short amount of time is almost hard to watch. There were guys talking about this guy being the future wing of the league.
Gunner's gonna lose his mind.
It's just it's no, Gunner, I'm sorry. It's just hard to watch, honestly, at this point. Like
You ever see a disappointed parent before?
That's me right now.
I was watching Rockets games because they were somewhat entertaining to see what they could do. They have the sizzle, as everyone wants to say, they have the ability. They just don't run the right offense. If Amen Thompson can't shoot, put him on the opposite side of Kevin Durant. It's a 2-pass system to a backdoor dunk that could work every fucking time. NBA defenses don't play rotational defense anymore. Let this kid use his God-given athleticism and go do his job.
It's a fair point, and again, sorry, Gunner. He's a Sengun truther, so I apologize for this. And I also have to apologize for this as well, Gunner. This is where I have Boston.
No, I'm fine
6.
with that. I'm fine with that.
Okay, so Boston does meet the traditional Phil Jackson famous 40-20 rule. However, it's Tatum coming back that I have the biggest concern from this, because everybody amongst everybody that says like, well, Tatum's back, automatically coming out of the East. Why? Because Tatum is coming back from an Achilles, and yes, we have had the medical advancements that we have in 2026. Absolutely. But how this system has been running behind Missoula's genius, yes, I said genius, is everything that is valued for Tatum is now amongst 6 other guys. Jaylen Brown's scoring, Peyton Pritchard, and Derek White's playmaking ability, both Kata's defensive rebounding and rim protection, as well as Vooch and like Jordan Walsh's defense, right? And that is amongst 6 players. Now you have somebody who can do a combination of those 6 coming back in, and where does he lie now? Who loses minutes to go and uplift them to make a run? Who has to lose the valuable minutes? And that's the biggest concern, because Tatum already has come out and said, I am not going to be a role player. I want the minutes. I want to go play and all this kind of stuff. And then it comes to concern, okay, cool. If you want them, where the hell do you put them? Do you put them at the 3 or do you put them at the 4? Because at the 4, you're going to have to face a lot of these front courts in the East that have double big lineups that are physical and go on the offensive rebounds and just go at it. If you go at the wing, because of the Achilles tear, is he moving through screens? Is he playing off ball? We don't know. And that's my biggest concern with the Celtics, because I do think that they are legitimate contenders. But with Tatum coming back, there's a whole bunch of red flags that can just say Boston could be, at best, a first-round exit, or they could go to the finals. But that's way too dynamic for me to say Boston can be a top 3 team, in my opinion, literally just because of Tatum. Because everything else outside of Tatum is tremendous. But Tatum coming back puts a huge wrench into everything, because we just don't know how Missoula is going to put him in, what the values are, and all this kind of stuff. That's my biggest concern with Boston.
So,
top 5 now. This is where we feel our strongest opinions. I can't wait for this.
So, going into number 5, I have the Celtics. The way in which I view this is, I agree with the Tatum point to an extent. However, the reason I have them in my top 5 is because, playing devil's advocate, if there's any coach in the entire league that can know how to utilize Tatum effectively and figure out where he belongs in this lineup, it's Missoula, bro. He's a genius.
It's Jordan Knott.
But no, Missoula's a genius. If anybody can figure out how to use Tatum effectively, it's him, 100%. And then outside of that, right? The Celtics allow the least points per game in the entire league. Their defense has always been great. Obviously, Jaylen Brown is in MVP conversations. He's been playing out of his mind. Like I said, they have the best coach in the league. They have a fantastic supporting cast. I feel like everything is in alignment for the Celtics to be extremely good. Like you said, the only thing that I would question is the Tatum thing. But I'm okay putting them just inside my top 5 because I trust Missoula can do the right thing. And I think that of all the teams in this top 5, the Celtics would be the team that I think could rise the highest. Like from where they're at right now, I could see them going to as high as a finals.
Yeah, well, this is where I have Minnesota because you guys went and bashed their team and did all this and all that, but this is a half court set offense team, and what is playoff basketball? A half court set offense. So I'm more giving them that edge, especially like I said, I have them over Houston, which not really that big of a deal. And the East is just so damn cookie cutter wide open. Like it's just not. It doesn't matter to me. Those teams can all be in the bottom of the top 10 like I have them because it really doesn't matter. At this point, you're flipping a coin to see who's going to get there. Minus a certain team I haven't said yet. And Gunnar, that's where your disappointing dad can turn into I'm a Celtics Glazer in a little bit. But yeah, no. Banking on Ant to do his thing. Yeah, right. Young with flaws, but Randall will pick it up in the postseason like he did last year slightly, but it's going to come down to the rest of that team, and I think we're looking at Naz Reid to step up and actually do something. Like, don't just exist. You were the hottest player on the market for the longest time. Can you prove that you were worth re-signing, please?
Gunner.
As the Celtics fan, this is where I have the mad scientist and Joe Missoula.
As a kinky Jew.
Gunnar, we're like in lockstep right now. We're thinking the same way.
So I agree with Jules 100%. This just threw a whole wrench because I was gonna have Boston higher, myself, but the whole Tatum thing, I have questions with the chemistry. I have questions with the health. I don't know if he's really ready to play 100% basketball that is playoff ready. And with 20 games left in the season for Boston, you have 20 games to get in shape, to get that chemistry going, all that. That's not that much. I just, again, we can be first round exits as the floor. We can be as high as winning the finals. I wouldn't say we are, because I just don't think we are.
Yeah.
This is where I have the Cleveland Cavaliers as a number 5. And why I have them is because the fact they can, we're talking about half-court offenses and half-court defenses, and they can both translate. I don't care about Harden's woes. That is completely overrating this team. Mitchell, as a Mitchell hater, I have to give him respect because when Garland hasn't been on the floor and Mobley hasn't been on the floor, guess what? It's still a competent offense. He's being able to use Sam Merrill, use this depleted roster, and still win games. It just is what it is. And now the fact that Harden is completely there, and he's elevating Jared Allen, he's elevating Evan Mobley to something that we all predicted that was going to be true. It's already been done. What we need to understand is that people who think that Harden is still a number 2 option, I strongly disagree. He does not need to be a number 2 option. All he needs to do is be able to facilitate the offense, be methodical, and then get off the ball when Mitchell is demanding it, because Mitchell is a good off-ball and on-ball scorer. I just don't see them. I finally see them getting over the hump, being a second-round team, because how weak this Eastern Conference is. They can beat anybody. There's just nothing that you got, like, anybody can convince me that this team doesn't get to the Eastern Conference Finals at minimum. This team is going to be good. They are young. They have the vets. They have the coach. Even though I'm not a big Kenny Atkinson fan, he's offensively sound. I think they have to be here. Me personally.
That's fine. Give me 20 games and I'll be able to predict the playoffs just like last year.
Number 4, Retro.
Yeah. So for my number 4 team, I have the Nuggets. I think that they are a very good team. They score the most points per game in the entire league. Their offense is outstanding. Everybody knows like what Jokic does. I really don't have to go into that much. He's just him. And now that he's back, I think that's a great thing for them. I think obviously Jamal Murray is great. I know that Jules kind of has a thing about Jamal Murray being like a fake playoff riser, but I don't know. I trust Jamal Murray. I think that overall that team is just very solid. They're just an offensive powerhouse, honestly. It was hard for me to choose between this team and the next team on my list, because the next team on my list I kind of think are frauds, but I can't really prove it.
Watch your words.
But this
I know
team,
who you have left. Watch your fucking words.
But this team right here, I would not be surprised if they won the finals. I also wouldn't be surprised if they got knocked out by a couple of the teams that I have ahead of them. So for me, number 4 felt very appropriate.
Fair. Justin.
I also have the Nuggets, and they would be a top 3 team if they weren't so damn injury prone.
Yeah.
These motherfuckers can't stay healthy to save their life. They are cycling players in and out off the IR like people changing their laundry. I can't anymore. I can't. Jokic can do his thing. Murray can do his thing. But outside of that, Watson in and out of injuries. Gordon in and out off of injuries. Cam Johnson's been injured damn near half the season. I can't bank on these guys to be healthy when the tough get going. I can't. It's just Jokic could put up a 50-point triple-double and this team could still lose. Like, that's what's insane. They're not healthy enough to make a run. If anyone thinks that this team can make a run, they're still the 3rd best team in the West, but the 2 I have left are just clearly better and healthier. So, yeah, Denver at 4.
Gunner.
This is where I have Detroit myself. For me, Detroit plays a lot of physical basketball, which in a playoff setting that translates well. Their defense does translate to the playoffs. The issues are your classic just half-court offense and their shooting. But also with Detroit, they're also a team that has a high ceiling but a low floor. When it comes to them, they can go to that Eastern Conference Finals, sort of say, but at the same time, they definitely can be first-round exits. And that's where my issue comes in with them. It's unpredictable.
This is where I also have Denver. And I want to put them within the top 3. And again, you guys mentioned it. It's the injuries, but the very specific injury I do want to talk about is the Aaron Gordon injury, because of how important he has been as not only a spacer, a corner shooter for Denver, and how versatile he is defensively, but a vertical spacer for Jokic. And that has been so important, because I use this argument a lot as of recently, because a lot of people are starting to get off the Denver train because of their recent stretch. When they were healthy, they were quite literally the best offense in the league and a top 5 defense. This is how good Denver can be when everybody is healthy. And mind you, that was prior to Peyton Watson coming onto the stage. That was with their starting 5. This is how dangerous that Denver team can be. And I'm not trying to say I want to put them top 3. I really want to put them top 2, but it's literally because of Aaron Gordon. And I've never seen, you guys talk, I talk about this a lot. I care about impact a lot. And Aaron Gordon is proving to be a very high impact player. And it's showing, because that defense since he's been out, fallen off a cliff. I believe they're ranked 20th or 21st in the league. That is alarming.
19th,
going
I
up
thought.
against the it's within that range,
Yeah.
I believe, Gunnar. And that's concerning when Jokic is going to be put into PNR and ISO situations when they're switched onto him, and that's a big reason why he's shooting a lot like more inefficient these past few games. That wrist injury starting to flare up again. There's a lot of concerns where it could just be they might lose against OKC again. But again, I do have them as my pick this year. I'm not going to move off of it. I'm just once Aaron Gordon comes back, I want to see where they are.
Oh fuck, they did drop.
Number 3.
Yeah. So moving into the top 3. This is where I have the Pistons. I feel like this team is going to flop because of Cade's inconsistencies and because of the inconsistencies overall of the team. But the problem is they keep winning, and they win so much that it's really hard for me to kind of just like not put them in the top 3. They have the best record in the East by 6 games. They're the second best in points per game allowed in the East. They've won 11 of their last 13. They just can't stop winning. Like, I listen, at a certain point, like vibes aside, I have to acknowledge the fact this team just continues to win. I think they can be very good. It's basically what Gunnar said. I think that their floor is very low. I think their ceiling is very high. It's actually just very dependent on how consistent Cade can be. Because I feel like that's kind of what this Pistons team is centered around. When Cade is consistent and he's having a good night, everybody's having a good night. Cade can get the ball around to people. He's really good at that. He can score on his best nights very efficiently. But on his worst nights, it's not. So really, it's like, I have them at top 3. I could see you swapping them out with a few other teams. Honestly, you could put them even lower as like 5. But I value winning more than anything. Obviously, that's what you're trying to do, and they just keep winning. So,
Justin?
So, I have the Boston Celtics at 3. And this has literally nothing to do with Jason Tatum. This is me backing my claim that Jaylen Brown can be the guy and take this team to the Eastern Conference Finals and potentially the championship. Not winning the championship, but he can take them there. And now they're going to get Tatum back. He can play those starter minutes. It doesn't mean he's got to be as ball dominant as he is when he's fully healthy. If these guys can work their way in and play around it, and he can fit the system, he can be the guy, but he doesn't have to have his shot diet. He doesn't have to go as hard as normal. He's got to, like you said, he's got to wean his way back into the game. I'm still backing Boston to get to the finals. I said it at the beginning of the year when everyone was trying to hate this team and say that, oh, well, they're not even going to be at 8th seed. Nope. East is so damn wide open. And I'll play the if game. If Tatum comes back and if Tatum is fine and he can play half as good as he normally does, the East is chalked. In 20 games, this team could go fucking 17-3 with Jason Tatum.
This is where I have the Denver Nuggets. I don't care. I'm sticking with my pick during preseason. This is the only team I think that can break the 40-20 rule from Phil Jackson. With that being said, it's heavily reliant on how Aaron Gordon comes back and if he is still that defensive anchor that they need, depending on how Peyton Watson comes back, relying on that defense. That offense is still really damn good, but Jokic's wrist is now bothering him. There is a lot of question marks. I don't care. I'm riding it out.
For 3, this is where I have Detroit. And for you guys who think on our TikTok page that I was a Cade hater, got a jersey. I got a jersey. Cade has been fantastic this year. Again, I will say it again in the camera. He is flawed. Yes, Cade is flawed. But there can, again, high ceiling, low floor. And this is where Cade needs to step up and carry that team and create the opportunities that he is able to do and that defense needs to translate. Jalen needs to step up. Beef Stew needs to step up. Tobias Harris, you need to step up. I think Detroit can easily make an Eastern Conference Finals run. I think, to be honest with you, it might be mid-diff. I like this team a lot. I just need Cade to show me that he's solidified in this league. Number 2 and number 1, guys.
Yeah, so I think I'm pretty sure, have the same number 2 and number 1. Or like it might just be like flipped order.
That other guy might not.
But yeah, so for my number 2, I have the Thunder. They have the best record in the league. They're a fantastic team. Obviously, SGA is playing out of his mind, averaging the second most points per game in the West. The least points allowed per game in the West as well. Their offense is great. Their defense is great. They're the defending champions. However, that being said, I think that there is a team that currently has them on a leash, who my number 1 team is. So that being said, the Thunder to me are currently the number 2 best team in the league.
Yeah, give me the Thunder. I think there's just a lot of teams that can match up against the Thunder this year. And I just still am not high on the Thunder's shooting. They did get better with it and have gotten a little bit more consistent with their shooting as the season has gone on, but I'm just not sure, depending on the matchups they face in the playoffs, if they are the best team in the league.
Dustin?
Fuck what you heard, dude. San Antonio Spurs are the second best team in basketball. I'm so sick of this. Have them on a leash. They have a winning record in the I don't give a fuck about the regular season. I don't care. I don't care. Cool, you beat them in the NBA Cup that nobody cares about playing for. You beat them in the regular season. Guess what? This team's getting there. Guess what? Their half-court sets are better. Guess what? This team has the experience that SAS does not. Sorry, not sorry. San Antonio at 2, and it's a clear-cut 2. These 2 teams are head and shoulders better than every other team. But when it comes down to a 7-game set, I trust OKC more than I trust San Antonio because of their youth. So for that reason and that reason alone, it's San Antonio at 2.
I have San Antonio at 2. And
you're damn right.
Where I've been predicated on saying this is that it's not. You bring up a good point. Experience. To me, I don't give a fuck about experience because OKC just won in a year and a half. That's a non-factor to me. They broke the mold. Where I care about is coaching and how offensively consistent you are. And when OKC has been more offensively consistent with 12 random guys that they're fanning in like literally off the sides of the street, and they're still beating teams by double digits, where like the Spurs, where my team is, they can nullify a lot of those offensive woes that they have in the half court just because of one guy. Really 2 guys, because Stephon Castle's been the best guard defender on SGA this year, and it hasn't been close. But because of the offensive inconsistencies, and Mitch Johnson to this day is still fucking with the lineups and still trying to figure out how to play that offense with Fox being inconsistent, Castle not having a jump shot, and heavily relying on the wing shooters who have been inconsistent. You guys know I hate Devin Vassell. I love Julian Champagnie, but he gets on cold streaks. Wemby is like inconsistent. He's still very raw offensively, and they heavily rely on their defense, just like OKC did last year. And that, I think there's a formula for success there. But when your lows are lower than backups, the 10th man, the guy who just came out of testicular cancer, that's a question for me. That's a question for me in general. And for the Spurs, being a Spurs fan, I'm not going to lie on my team. I think they're the second best team. I think OKC is still number 1. I think that series goes 7, but I'm taking OKC because one team has SGA, an offensive great, and Wemby isn't there yet. That's my take.
So moving on to number one. My number one is obviously the Spurs. They have the second best record in the West, but they functionally do own the Thunder. I don't really care what people have to say about, it's a regular season game. Go watch that SGA interview after the third loss and tell me he wasn't mentally broken. That guy does not like playing against the Spurs. None of the Thunder like playing against the Spurs. They don't enjoy it because they're not. I don't think that they can handle what an alien brings to the table. Victor Wembanyama to me is such a huge factor in every game, and it's not even just because of the actual play of Victor Wembanyama. It's because of the presence of Victor Wembanyama. I think that the fact that people have to play against a person like him is a mental thing in itself. So to me, I think you take into account the fact that the Spurs have owned the Thunder this year. You take into account the fact that before the Spurs' last Knicks loss, they won 11 straight games. You take into account the fact that the Spurs are just absurdly dominant on the defensive end. The fact that they can also play great offense on any night. To me, I agree that it goes 7, but I would favor the Spurs. So for me, they're the best team in the league.
It's similar to what I'm sorry, Retro was saying about the Spurs. The thing I have with the Spurs, the biggest question mark with them is their 3-point shooting, if they can get hot or not. In that playoff run, which they probably won't. But at the same time, that defense is mothering teams. I mean, they're winning off of a lot of 2-point shots, like the Pistons, which they high floor or low floor, high ceiling type shit. I just believe in this Spurs team more than I do the Thunder for some reason.
Justin?
I made this claim the day after they won the finals last year that they were going back to back. I fully believed it because the league is not caught up with this team. I don't care what anybody says. You can say that if you want to use your they have their leash, Retro. The only leash they have is that Wemby can walk Chet wherever he wants to go. And if he has to go outside, he has to knock on the door or bark. But
yeah.
Besides that, better coach, better strategist, better offensive threats, better team defense, not just individual defense, better team defense. They also have Lou Dort, who's going to take Wemby out of the series in Game 1. This, for me, also is banking off of last year. This is the best team at learning how to adapt to what the fuck happened the game before, not losing a back-to-back. So I'm going off of the knowledge, the skill set, and just the all-around ability. We've seen inconsistencies from this team all year, but guess what? They had these same fucking inconsistencies last year, and they won it. So I'm not discrediting this team by any means necessary. The MVP is going to win the finals. That's just the way it's going to be. He's head and shoulders the best player in the game, and it's just, for me, not close. So I don't care about J-Dub being inconsistent. Their bench shoots the fucking lights out. Their depth is unbelievable. I'm sorry. I just don't. As much as the Spurs have walked them in the regular season, like you said, Shea looked defeated. What happened in that next game after Shea looked defeated? They went out and won the game. And Jules, if I do remember correctly, it wasn't a close game by any means. It was a convincing beatdown of San Antonio. So
took them long enough.
So doesn't matter. Took them long enough. So what? They lost 3 in a row to them, and then they got the BTA on it. So they've seen them. Right, cool. They've seen them enough. How does a series work? You see a team that has to win 4 games, and a team that doesn't drop back-to-backs in the playoffs, man, that's a hell of a hard team to beat. So for that reason, in my opinion, your back-to-back champions, and it's not going to change unless something drastic happens, is the Oklahoma City Thunder.
And Lou Dort, do not get any ideas, by the way, about Victor Wembanyama.
Dude's already got ideas. Bro's got a fucking notebook in his back pocket.
That's probably
he has the fucking. He
already tried it.
note.
If that man attacked Jokic, you think he's scared of Wemby?
He did already try it. Exactly. He already tried it in the fucking second game.
Yeah.
I do have the OKC Thunder as the best team, but I don't have them winning it. They're not. I don't think they're going back to back again. Like I said, I think it's still going to be Denver. Why OKC is still the best team in the league is because the depth and how still reliant they are on SGA. Now, granted, since All-Star break, they have been self-sufficient with the guys that they have, and that's why they are so dangerous, is because the role players are now getting tick, and they're being able to self-create, run offenses. They look a lot less stagnant than they did within the first 50. But with OKC, they still have that tremendous defense. You take Lou Dort out, I do think that Chet, all defensive first team, Hartenstein, I know won't be there, but he's a great rim protector. Carson Wallace, the true all defensive first team guy on that team, is tremendous. SGA, MVP, all in that is well and good. But even though I do think that they have taken a step back, it's more because they are the best team, they have the resume and all this kind of stuff, and I just want to respect them for them there, but I do think that they can be taken advantage of if they do play a Spurs, or specifically the Denver. I do think that Denver does it. Again, I think San Antonio goes 7 with them, I just don't have them winning. And that was our top 10 teams.
Stopper.
Yeah, so now
you put that white headbanded man out there and you say, go stop that big motherfucker. Yes, sir.
On to the big boy list.
Yeah. So I have a couple honorable mentions. Does anybody else?
I have 5.
I have one honorable mention.
Okay, I have technically 6 because I was torn between 2 guys, so technically 6. Justin, how many do you have?
I have 5. I can run it down.
I guess I'll just throw out my one real quick, and then you guys
can. Throw out the one.
So, the only one that I made is a person that just barely missed on my list. He's the only one, Donovan Mitchell. Great season this year, but he just missed my team. Yeah,
interesting.
Justin, run through your couple.
15 KD, 14 Brunson, 13 Markkanen, 12 Mitchell, and 11 James Harden.
Okay, Connor.
For me, it goes Denny, KD. Then I'm gonna be a PRA merchant. I don't care. Give me Jalen Johnson. And then my boy, Senguner. Give me Alperen Sengun, baby.
That dude's an honorable mention for the Special Olympics team.
Okay, Jules.
So, my guys at 15, I have Jamal Murray. At 14, I have Chet. At 13, I have Pascal. 12, I have Tyrese Maxey. And 11, this is where I was torn, I had Steph and Brunson.
Okay, so I guess to open up the floor with number 10, I was torn between 2. I was torn between D-Mitch and this guy. I chose this guy. I have Kawhi Leonard. As far as this season, Kawhi is 34. He's averaging the most points per game in his entire career. He's giving you 28 points per game, which is good for 8th in the league. On the second highest volume of his career, by the way, so which is crazy, and he's doing it on 49, 38, 90 splits. The efficiency that this man is playing with right now is actually out of this world. He's tied for best in the league with 2 steals per game, which is very impressive. Again, the claw is still very present. Kawhi is just playing out of his mind. He's really the only reason why the Clippers are anywhere even near play-in contention, because they really have no business being anywhere near that. And Jules has been saying it all year that this guy is a top 10 player in the league. After looking through the research, to me, it's 100%. He is a top 10 player in the league this year. He's playing outstanding. This is a career, this is one of his career years. He is floor raising so hard right now. It's absolutely outrageous. And I'm huge on floor raising. So as far as that's concerned, to me, Kawhi is number 10. You could even make the argument is a couple slots higher.
We'll go Justin and then go. So Justin.
At 10, I have the fraudulent MVP leader, Jaylen Brown.
Cook.
This man has played out of his mind this year, don't get me wrong, but he's also getting carried by role players. Couldn't not put him in the top 10, but we're going to keep him down at 10.
Let me agree with Justin here. Give me Jaylen Brown at 10. As the Celtics fan, I am seeing Jaylen Brown disrupt our motion offense. I am seeing him start to come back down to earth efficiency-wise. I'm being told he's the best two-way player in the league. The fuck are we doing with Jaylen Brown?
No, that was it. That was it. No, that was a Jaylen Brown take.
No, though it's not. No, it's not just from Jaylen Brown though. I was hearing that before it came out of Jaylen Brown's mouth. I have no clue what the fuck is going on when we're rating Jaylen Brown, but we are way too fucking high on his ass.
Some people would say he's better than Jason Tatum.
Oh, fuck off.
Some people
fuck off.
This is for 10. This is where I have Sir Jamari Smith, you are the R word. Sir Sengun, I can't finish at the rim. This is where I have Kevin Durant, and I was torn between him and Brunch Time, and I looked through their past 10 games, and why I gave KD the nod is because since All-Star break they've had a winning record. He's turning over the ball significantly less. He's becoming way more efficient, and KD's known for efficiency. If you want to have Brunson over KD, KD, that's fine. But KD, I think, as of late, has turned it up a notch. And he's turning over the ball significantly less. And that's something that has always been a concern for KD, in my opinion. He just hasn't been able to play make. And I think he's been doing a lot better the past 8 to 10 games. So I moved Brunson down and moved KD definitively in my top 10. Number 9, Retro.
So I think you guys are probably going to be surprised at this. It's a bit of an overrated player. I have Jaylen Brown. As far as this is concerned, I am a huge Jaylen Brown fan. I think that Jaylen Brown is fantastic. There's been a lot of stuff that he's done this season that I think is insane. Obviously, the scoring peak is pretty clear. He's averaging 7 rebounds per game as a 6'6" guard. He's giving you good splits on high volume. He's averaging 78% from the free throw line, which is the best in his career. He's averaging 5 assists per game, which is the best in his career. But that being said, he has an amazing supporting cast, an amazing coach. His defense has fallen off a cliff because he has been using that energy to score so much, and that is also a problem. I am a huge Jaylen Brown fan, and I think he is top 10. However, I do not think he is high as some people are making him out to be. In an MVP argument, I'd probably have him higher. As far as the best players in the world this year, I think number 9 is a comfortable, fair spot to put him in. Especially given that there's a lot of other players that don't have as good a situation. I think when you're being coached by a genius like Mazzulla that can make all the players around you great, I think that's something that that a lot of people don't bring up. I've seen people on TikTok try to say that Jaylen Brown is like a runaway MVP favorite. I've seen people say Jaylen Brown is a top 5 player in the league this year. I just don't buy into that narrative. As much as I like him, he has been overrated.
Justin?
I'm going to go an unconventional route. At 9, I have Tyrese Maxey. And I think that Tyrese Maxey would actually be higher on this list if, Philadelphia had a head coach or a front office that knew that Joel Embiid is the most overrated sack of shit since Greg Oden.
Greg Oden.
You've taken this dude's offense away, you've taken his leadership away, and we all talk about the undersized guard not being able to do his thing and this, that, and the other. I think this kid's the anomaly. I really do. We talk about the undersized guard not being able to play in this game. He does everything Brunson does, slightly worse on offense, a hell of a better defender. So I'm sick of this undersized guard and this slander against Tyrese Maxey. I think him and Edgecombe can be a great duo going forward in this league. Just get rid of Joel Embiid and we won't have these problems anymore. Start to actually build the team and realize that trusting the process was getting rid of the process.
And shout out the anomaly, Jason Tatum.
Yeah, right.
This is where I have Donovan Mitchell, but first, you're right, Justin. They should build around Andre Drummond. Man
True.
can shoot threes now.
True. The spacer, Andre Drummond.
Actually, they should go out and get Nick Claxton, but that's just me.
At 9, I have Donovan Mitchell. Donovan's been great for this Cavs team. He's having to carry an offensive load yet again at times, which before the Harden trade, this is why the Cavs were nowhere near. They didn't have a playmaker in Garland, and Mitchell was having to take on the responsibility of playmaking and scoring, which just isn't Donovan's game. So I'm going to give the credit to Donovan Mitchell, no matter what, how much I hate that man.
This is where I have the guy on my jersey, Cade Cunningham. And why I have Cade here is, again, what I mentioned last week. He is still a heavily flawed player and on a good defensive team that can be schemed against. However, to play this in a positive light, Cade has been very good at the mid-range specifically, where he wasn't good last year. He now has his go-to spots from 17 feet that he can go off a PNR and basically play this in-between game to where the center either has to come out and defend him and shoot that mid-range shot, or he's throwing it over the top to you to Duran, where he's been literally one of the top two best pick PNR guys outside of Jamal Murray and Jokic, specifically in these actions. So he's able to leverage his scoring and his playmaking because he has the mid-range game. But obviously, he has not been great from three. He has been great at the rim, and he's still on the best team in the East by record-wise. So Cade is a great player, and like Justin has said, won't be surprised if he wins an MVP within the next 5 years. There's stuff that he needs to work on, but right now he took a good leap this year. Now next year, let's hopefully he can be at least league average from three, and be at league average at the rim, so he can be a legitimized 3-level scorer. The story is cool because Detroit was shit, and now he's on the best team in the East, but he still was flawed. But Cade, I think, is a top 10 player, just in the lower echelon of the top 10.
Also, before we move on, I want to give the shout out to a guy you just mentioned. You basketball casuals, if you don't know this, Jalen Duren is the third best center in the NBA. And if you can't put that respect on his name that he's the best guy outside of Jokic and Wemby, you should go watch some games and watch the way this kid plays.
Ciao, Duren.
So
number 8, Retro.
Yeah, so as far as number 8, Justin and I are kind of on a similar wavelength. This is where I have Tyrese Maxey. This year, I think that we've been so focused on the Jaylen Brown narrative, we haven't really talked about how Tyrese Maxey is also super rising this year. So Tyrese Maxey this year, he's giving you 29.1 points per game, which is 4th in the league. He's giving you 6.8 assists per game, which is 12th in the league. He's leading the league in steals per game with 2. He's averaging 2.8 stocks per game. His free throw percentage is at a career high of 89%. He's doing all this at 25, and with the expectation of like the fans don't really know, is it Maxey, is it Embiid? We collectively as a community now kind of agree that it's Maxey and not Embiid. But coming into the year, no one really knew kind of what to think or how to feel about this team. And I think Tyrese Maxey this year has kind of come in and put that statement. He has come in and said, I am the guy. I am the person this franchise needs to rely on. I'm 25. I'm already one of the best scorers in the league. I can give you a great chance to win, and I'm better than Embiid is. And Tyrese Maxey being able to do that to me is absolutely worthy of a top 10 spot. That's why I have him as the 8th best player in the league.
That's fine.
All right. Well, if there's one thing you guys know about me when it comes to sports is, fuck, do I hate my own state's teams. I had to retool my list after I was reminded that this guy is an NBA player, as he's missed basically 30 fucking games this year. At 8, I have Giannis. For the simple fact of, he could be way higher on this list if the motherfucker would stop faking an injury to try to get out of Milwaukee. If this man played basketball and played these games and this, that, and the other, sure, fine, whatever. He can definitely be a top 5 guy. But because of ability being, not there because he's not available, I'm just going to leave him down here because it's disrespectful to leave Giannis out of the top 10, but there are 7 guys that are playing better than him this season.
Got it.
This was tough for me. I'm going Cade Cunningham. I understand Cade's the best point guard on that Piston, or the best player on that Pistons team, but at the same time, there are a lot of players around him that are rising to the occasion in those games. Not saying they're not because of Cade, but at the same time, Cade is flawed. He's being a high prone turnover guy. He's having really good efficient games and really fucking poor efficient games, and he just flip flops like a motherfucker. So sadly, I want to have Cade higher. I just don't think I can because of those reasons.
Very valid.
This, because I'm on Gunner and Justin's boat on this, because I hate the motherfucker. I don't believe in him whatsoever. And you guys have, I know Justin has heard me say this before. I do have to take my pride aside and give flowers to where it's due. This is where I have Donovan Mitchell. And it's like forcing teeth out of, I do not want to credit this motherfucker whatsoever.
I've been glazing Donovan Mitchell for so long. It's a beautiful day.
Where Donovan is becoming very valuable this year is because Garland and Mobley both have been hurt, and he's still 7 points better per 100 possessions when it comes to offensive efficiency. He's leading a 123 offense basically by himself. That's absurd. That is literally on the level of SGA and Jokic. That is incredible when it comes to Donovan with the lack of help. Now, when Garland and Mitchell in there, they're literally the equivalent of Denver Nuggets. But that's when Garland is healthy. Donovan, that by himself, has been fantastic. His scoring efficiencies have been fantastic. He's been able to play on ball, off ball, play make. The only thing the motherfucker can't do is defend because he's literally doing everything else. And that's completely fine. I just can't. Again, I'm not a Mitchell fan, but I'm giving him his grace because I do understand it's been injuries, it's been a bad situation, and I understand why people think the Cavs are frauds because Donovan Mitchell's at the head of that. But this year, I think, has been extremely impressive, and he's probably going to translate in the playoffs rather well. And I hope the Cavs prove me wrong, and I hope that they make the Eastern Conference Finals because of Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, goddamn you, Devin Booker, for having a down year that we actually have to glaze this fucking.
And exactly. Just okay. Now that I'm done bullshitting. Devin Booker, you're better than Donovan Mitchell. Fuck you. Okay.
And
anyway.
It's not close.
Donovan Mitchell. So, anyways,
stop it.
Number 7.
seven.
This is where I have Ant-Man. So, Ant-Man at the age of 24 is doing insane things. He's giving you 29.5 points per game. That's third in the league, on 49% from the field and just under 40% from three. That's phenomenal splits. They're both career best for him. His free throw percentage has regressed. It's the worst since his rookie year. Got to work on the free throws. He's averaging 2.2 stocks per game. Very, very good. He's averaging the lowest turnovers per game he's had in 4 seasons. He's just really a phenomenal offensive powerhouse. He's absolutely great. You could 100% make the argument to move him higher up the list. For me, the number 7 guy and the number 6 guy were very, very hard for me to choose between. And I completely understand flipping either or. And you guys will see where I'm at with that. But I don't know if I could put him higher than 6 just because of where my top 5s are. But 7 is where I ended up placing him. I think it's a fair spot for him.
Justin?
I'll keep it short and sweet. This is where Cade Cunningham falls for me. Like we said, it's due to the inconsistencies, but he's also leading the number 1 team in the East this year. I mean, we've been beating a dead horse on Cade's inconsistencies for almost an hour and 30 minutes now as we've gone through this, so we don't need to talk anymore about it.
Gunner?
This is where I have Giannis. Sadly. If Giannis wasn't fucking hurt this season, he'd definitely be way higher. I have to value the games played. I can't do it otherwise.
This, for my 7 spot, this is where I have the robot himself, Kawhi Leonard. Again, I think you can argue that this is his best offensive season as of late. I think the fact that he isn't as good at defense as he was before, I think that's a kind of a fake narrative, because defensively this year he's been stout, not only by steals per game, but stop percentage by him being able to deter from the rim. He's like, I don't know what quarter zone shot the fucking Clippers gave him, but it's fucking working. Kawhi has been fantastic.
Stafford got.
Literally. I mean, they're both in LA, right? So
Yeah.
I'm totally with that. So I think Kawhi.
Needles in LA is pretty common, so I've heard.
That's crazy. Okay. Anyway,
I mean, he met his quota of planting trees. That's what it is.
Yeah, he did meet his quota. Thank you, aspiration. I think, for me personally, I think Kawhi Leonard is a top 7 lock. His impact on that Clippers team has been tremendous. He's just absurdly efficient, absurdly great offense, absurdly great defense. He's carrying those Clippers. They just came back from a 20-point deficit tonight and ended up winning against the fucking Warriors. He was hella efficient. It's been great. So I think Kawhi Leonard is a top 7 player in this league. Number 6. Retro.
This is where I have Cade Cunningham. So we already beat the dead horse of inconsistencies over and over again. But just to glaze a little bit, his Pistons are first in the East very comfortably. He's giving you 25.5 points per game, which is top 12 in the league. He's giving you 6 rebounds per game, which is very solid for a guard. He's giving you 9.8 assists per game, which is second in the league. You want better efficiency, sure. You want less turnovers, yes. But that being said, Cade is the number 1 option for a team that is far and away the best in the East right now in terms of record. He's made great strides. He's an amazing playmaker. He's a great scorer. He does amazing things. Very young still. Lots of room to grow. For me, I think top 6 is fair. I'm fine where you guys have him placed as well. It's fine. It's very flexible for me. I couldn't quite fit him in my top 5, but I think number 6 is fair.
Justin.
Well, some people are going to find this to be a little bit disrespectful, but at number 6, I have Victor Wembanyama. For me, it's the injuries, the limited minutes, and the significant help he has around him. I just think that the guys above him either have less help and are doing the same, if not better, or are just all around better. That's all I have for that one.
Gunner.
6, this is where I have Kawhi. This is where he's the best two-way player in the league still, in my opinion.
Not Jaylen Brown.
Yeah.
But OG Anunoby's got an argument for you.
I mean, yeah. Kawhi just been phenomenal this season, all around still phenomenal at this age, which is insane. I'm just loving Kawhi at the moment.
I'm loving it.
Facts.
Can't wait for this. Number 6, I have Luka Doncic. Luka,
I love it.
Luka, this is where people need to start understanding. Luka dropped off a cliff with his efficiencies. His playmaking has still been great, but he's turning over the ball at, for Luka standards, all-time high. He is struggling with this Lakers team, and mind you, because Justin and I talked about this for another player outside my top 10, Steph Curry. He's a first half merchant. He gets all his stats in the first half and then relies on Austin Reeves or LeBron in the second half. He is only a one-half impact player. And I don't like those kind of guys. Because he leads the league in scoring in the first quarter and then dramatically drops in scoring inefficiency quarter by quarter by quarter. Luka, we need to have this conversation. Luka has not been a top 5 player in the league. The Lakers are definitely a flawed team, and he's the best player, and he's carrying that team to a 16. That's completely fine. But he has his flaws too, and they ain't pretty. That's my thing.
Retro, let me lead 5, please, because it's easier this way. Hey, Jules, we have not talked about this list at all. We have not talked about this at all, you and I. At number 5, I have Luka Doncic. For the exact same reasoning. I just think that what he's doing is slightly better than what Wemby's doing with significantly less help. His team's been injury prone. He has to deal with this 40-year-old grandpa that he's got to carry around with him. These conversations do need to happen because Luka can have a triple-double at halftime and finish with a 40-point triple-double, but he had a 29-point first half. So that doesn't move anybody. If he played a full game, this dude would be head and shoulders the best player in basketball, and it wouldn't be close because he'd be just doing unbelievable things. But yeah, for that reason, I have Luka at 5.
So for my number 5, this is where I have Giannis. Now, I understand the arguments about sample size and whatever and injuries, and that's fine. But he's still giving you 28, 10, and 6. One thing that I thought was absolutely astonishing, his 3-point percentage has gone up 17.3% from last year. 17%. It's gone up to 39.5% on slightly more volume than he was shooting last year from 3. I understand that it is a small sample size. It's still a decent sample size, though, and it kind of just shows, because it kind of goes along with the narrative.
How many games is it?
I think it's 30.
I was going to say 30 or something like that, yeah.
Right, so he's missed half the season.
Which is fine, but it goes along with what we already know about him. Everybody has talked about how he's massively improved his mid-range, right? And this season, I think he's also massively improved his 3-point game. I think Giannis is becoming a much more complete player as he ages. Maybe not necessarily on the defensive end, because you could definitely argue, from his prime DPOY Giannis, it's not the same. Yeah. But I think from the offensive end, he's growing, right? And he's trying to continue to evolve as a player. He's also shooting 65.8% from the free throw line, which I get is not great at all, but it is good for his best in 4 seasons. So and like I said, I think that if you take the totality of his game, and you look at him as a player, I think he is still top 5. I understand that people don't like the injuries, completely fair. If you have him even outside of the top 10 because the best of best ability is availability, right? That's fine. I'm okay with that. But for me, I value what he puts on the board. He's top 5.
Gunner?
This is where I have Luka Doncic. Just because of the same reasons you guys said. Oh, fuck Luka.
He's also talking about not Luka on TikTok.
Yeah, I was gonna say he is going to hate this segment.
Yeah. Anything else you have to add, Gunnar, before I go?
Like you said, first half Merchant. Fucking. I just can't get with it this season. I like Luka. I wanted to move him higher all time. Can't do it now. It's a struggle.
Yep.
I want to say for the record, not Luka. I defend Luka Doncic.
We just wish Luka Doncic would defend somebody.
literally. This has been a controversial thing that I've had to stand on. At number 5, I have Michael Jordan's son on the Timberwolves, Anthony Edwards. And where I still give criticism to Anthony Edwards, because I think I was talking about this with Justin specifically, the expectation going into the season was that Anthony Edwards was going to be the playmaker, the lead guard, making decisions, getting down the hill, creating advantages, and all this kind of stuff. He hasn't really done that. Chris Finch has taken the ball out of his hands and giving it to Julius Randle and made Julius Randle into the guy. When he started Dante DiVincenzo at the point guard, when he starts Mike Conley at the point guard. Now, granted, that's, kind of washed away, but he's still giving Julius Randle those decisions. And so he's taking less from Anthony Edwards and just ask him, go score the ball, go do your thing. You still can create advantages, but you're going to use your scoring ability. And he has. Like, the leap of the scoring ability that he has specifically from the mid-range, from this past year, last year to this year, one of the best leaps I've ever seen. Literally damn near 50% from the short mid-range and long mid-range. He's still very efficient from 3. He still gets to the rim at all-time great levels and finishes at the rim at all-time great levels. So, and like Gunnar said a little bit before about the teams, he's probably going to win Clutch Player of the Year because his clutch efficiency is absurdly, obnoxiously high. Like, he's just saying, be a traditional 2-guard, go score the fucking basketball and go do your thing. We'll figure out the rest. And
which also translates to Minnesota, just get this motherfucker a point guard. Holy fuck.
Yes, it does.
Exactly. And so I like, where I will knock him again is that I do like traditionally guys who are able to do a little bit more both score and play make, but that obviously doesn't show because I have Luka and Cade a little bit lower than him. But when you take this type of efficiency jump and this significant one on the volume that he's getting, dog, and on the fact that the Timberwolves can be a sleeper team, even though I had them low, they can easily make a Western Conference Finals. I can see that happening. I do understand. That's why I think he's just a solidified top 5 guy. I think Anthony Edwards has been fantastic this year. Number 4.
Yeah, so my number 4 guy, this person or individual is the only individual that is not from Earth that plays in the NBA. This is where I have the alien Victor Wembanyama. As far as this is concerned to me, the man is a favorite for DPOY. He's a top 6 candidate for MVP. He's giving you 24 points per game. He's giving you 11.2 rebounds per game, which is 5th in the league. He's giving you all that on 50% from the field. He's giving you 81.7% from free throw, which is insane from a person of his size. On the defensive end, he's giving you 2.9 blocks per game, which leads the league. He's giving you 3.9 stocks per game, which is unreal. He can cover the perimeter and the interior because of his length, and he can do it almost at the same time, just because of how purely long he is.
Yeah, it's almost like he's 7'4" or something.
Yeah, I mean, the man is a freak. He's literally built by God to play basketball, and he's only going to get better, which is the insane part. Like he's only 22 years old. He's already doing this. For me, he's number 4 for now. He'll probably be number 1 in like 3 or 4 years, but at the moment, number 4 is a fair placement for him, I think. And I'll also say, as far as two-way players are concerned, I believe Kawhi is the second best two-way player in the world because I believe the best two-way player in the world belongs to Victor Wembanyama.
Justin.
No.
The only advanced metrics ranking I used on this whole list, and Jules just explained it for number 5, Anthony Edwards. You cannot... There is no step back with this kid. There was no step back. His team is just dog shit. The team is stepped back. Ant is head and shoulders come out of his shell. There's minimal, and I mean minimal, things that this kid really has to work on. He took the strides to become a better player, and that's exactly what you want, which is why I actually do have Ant at the 4th best player currently in the league.
Gunner.
This is where I have the MVP, Anthony Edwards. I am pushing my preseason narratives because they are back, baby. My preseason narratives are back with Anthony Edwards. And there's the only thing I have an issue with is his playmaking. However, he doesn't do that. They have the best point forward in the league in Julius Randle. So I am moved. That's all I have to say.
True.
Jesus Christ. Julius Randle, not really. This is where I have Giannis. And I do understand, okay, he's played half a season. I do think he is faking the second injury. I think that first one was real, Justin. I do think that this most recent one he just came back from today, I think that was fake. I do have merit with that. I do have merit with that. But why I still have Giannis as a top 5 player, again, I don't care about games played as much as everybody else. I care about the value that you bring on the court. Giannis by himself is still leading a plus 7 offense by himself. Defensively, obviously not the same. When he's on the court, there's a +2. He's definitely fallen off a cliff defensively. But where his value, when we're talking about players who are still adding things to his game, I don't even necessarily use the 3-point shot from him, even though that's a great argument. What I use is his post-ups, because everybody remembers Giannis couldn't translate in the playoffs when you build the wall, right? Couldn't get through that wall. Giannis just drops when you build the wall. The Raptors, the Celtics, so on and so on. He has become a top 85 percentile in post-ups this year, to where he has he's been taking a lot more of his post fades, his bump shimmy hooks. He's been taking all-time highs for this year for his standards. And he's being able to playmake and create advantages with the spacing that has been around him. A Kevin Porter Jr., an AJ Green, a Bobby Portis, etc. So he's added a layer to his game to where now you can set up the wall, but if somebody comes down and digs off a guard, he's passing it out, or he's dribble driving and getting to the paint and creating an advantage for Bobby Portis, and that kind of stuff. To where, again, he's definitely not making the postseason. The Bucks are dog shit, but there are still some things to where Giannis is
for me?
at. The Bucks are dog shit. Yes,
Thank you.
Bucks fans, you suck. That still at the age of 31. Even though we all know that Giannis came to playing basketball very late, I believe he started playing basketball at 16, that he's still adding, which I'm still just very impressed with. And I think that's where his value lies, is that he's still adding and he's still being really great at the things that he's still being able to do. Again, he's still a very limited player when it comes to scoring the basketball on a consistent basis. But that's very telling when you're limited and you're getting 28 to 30 fucking points. So that's why I have Giannis as number 4.
At age 38, he'll be super mellow.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Jules. I'm
so
sorry.
The top 3, now that we have entered that territory, this is where I have Luka. So even if you want to argue that it's like first half stats or whatever, if you want to argue that, the fact that he's averaging 32.5 points per game, he's averaging more than SGA is, and SGA is on a historic scoring run. The fact that Luka is able to do that in a first half only is pretty insane to me. But there's that. He's giving you 8.6 assists per game, which is third in the league. He's giving you 7.7 rebounds as a guard. I mean, we all know like the insanity that Luka puts up in terms of an offensive engine. It's what he does. We all talked about this earlier. The reason why the Lakers are flawed is not because of Luka. It is because of everything else around Luka. Because Luka can put up 45, 8, and 8 in a night, and they still might lose because players around him won't play well. I agree that Luka is less efficient, but it's not because of the fact that he is like dropped off or whatever. It's because of the fact that he is having to do way too much because the team still hasn't figured out their identity yet. They want to still be built around LeBron, and they shouldn't be. They should be built around Luka. And I agree with Justin. They need to get LeBum off of that team. And so as far as that, and Rich, please do not come for me. I'm sorry.
Clutch I'll double down on it for another week. Clutch Sports, fuck you. Let's go.
Yeah, Clutch Sports, you're my favorite organization. But outside of that, yeah, to me, Luka is still absolutely phenomenal. He's outstanding. He's doing all the things that I'm used to seeing him doing. I do think it's insane that he's putting up more points per game than Shea. I get it's close, but it's just insane to me that he can do that. That being said, I still don't think he is a top 2 player, but I think top 3 is fine.
Okay. Justin? God, please don't say Devin Booker, I swear to God.
I'm gonna try so hard here to do my best Jules Compton impersonation. I'm really gonna try.
Oh no.
At number 3, I have Kawhi Leonard.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay. Wow. Right.
This man is carrying a sack of potatoes. 9 wins should have been franchise to unbelievable heights for the Clippers for this year for what they should have been. Kawhi had the greatest 2 months of any basketball player ever.
He is Mr. America. He is.
Well, yeah, and his championship came in Canada, so we don't actually acknowledge him anymore, but that's just it.
No, he's an incredible American. Thank you, Kawhi.
No, I'm sorry. If you guys don't feel that Kawhi should be this high, I can completely grant your opinion, but you go try and carry Bradley Beal anywhere, and we'll see what happens.
Holy Bradley Beal tax.
This is entirely fair. I just want to say, Justin, you're
also we're going back to. I just want to go back to this because you had Luka there. LeBron is not the biggest problem with the Lakers. It's the worst first overall pick since Michael Olowokandi. That is the biggest problem with the Lakers. The softest 6'10" man I've ever heard in my life. As zesty as Cat is, at least he knows how to use his body. So, DeAndre Ayton, you ruined my franchise. I fucking hate you. I wish I could say more colorful words about it on here, but I don't want to talk about somebody disappearing. Yeah, you suck. Please retire.
I just want to say one other thing real quick, just on the Kawhi thing real fast. I was like, I knew Kawhi was good this year. The reason why this take is valid is because when I looked at his splits, I was shocked.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was genuinely shocked.
Put you on, Retro. Put you on.
No, I mean like,
it came from me, not the Kawhi stan.
Dude, because when I was going through the list, I had to check everybody's stats, and I was just like, yeah, honestly, if you put this guy top 3, I wouldn't even hate it. Like, yeah, that's fair. That's fine with
me. Done.
This is where I have the 7'5" man.
Alien.
Victor Wembanyama's just been phenomenal for the Spurs team. Sure, they've been winning games when he's not on the floor, so on and so forth. I don't care. The impact of his defense is shown. It's interesting because the man's out of position, but the fucking size of him and his wingspan, he just can recover so fast that it's just insane. The only question mark's his offense. Otherwise, fuck it, we ball.
This is where I have my the guy that I want to ride as my fucking horse for the rest of life. I do not care, Victor Wembanyama. I will become the Jokic horse jockey for this guy. He is a solidified top 3 player in the league, no doubt about it. Defensively, right? You're talking about the defense, and I looked at this. Shout out to Basketball Index for putting this out. He is affecting defenses. Their effective field goal percentage, not just field goal percentage, but everything within the realm of shots. What did he? His defense alone, when he's on the court, 5% less than league average, not 5% less than normal on the Spurs. Their shot types, the shot makes, and the shot shots everywhere. When he's literally on the court, literally all blue within the paint, all red from the 3. When Luke Cornett's in, all red in the paint, blue on the 3. The fact that he's being able to deflect this many shot attempts, I've never seen a more amount of never mind shots in my life. And what I mean by that, again, I'll use this example. I've never seen somebody on a 3-on-1 and the people who are running the weave, just like how we do in middle school and high school, just say, nope, yeah, we'll just wait and set up our offense, because fuck that. Wemby, I think, has the argument to be the best two-way in the world, because he's one of only 2 players to be top 90th percentile in both offense and defense this year. The only other person is somebody I have above him.
Stop.
Alien. So I think that Wemby solidified there. I will say, offensively, he's still very flawed. Again, he's heavily reliant on a jump shot. He needs to develop a post game. But if he comes consistent at a post up and consistent at stretching the floor, the fucking sky's the limit for this guy. Top 2 guys.
Yes. I want to preface before I say this. This is not an MVP list. This is a best player in the world. If it was an MVP list, I would have my top 2 guys flip. That being said, my number 2 is SGA. SGA is having a historic run. His scoring peak, to turnover ratio, is at a level that we haven't seen since Michael Jordan. This year he's giving you 31.8 points per game, which is second in the league, only behind Luka. And that's on 55% from the field, which is stupid. 38% from 3, 89% from the free throw. His splits are absolutely outrageous. He's giving you 2.2 stocks per game. He's averaged 30 plus in 4 straight seasons. I don't even understand how that's possible, to be honest with you. SGA is absolutely phenomenal, and if it weren't for the fact that there's one other guy in the league who this entire era is modeled after, then I would have him as the number 1 best player in the league. But that being said, I have him at number 2.
Justin.
All right, so at number 2, I have Dylan Brooks.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, man. Hell yeah.
Anyway.
Come on, I'll watch number 2. Thank you.
Yeah, Hillel Ware, number 2. Anyway. No, I have SGA. When we were talking about teams, I said he was the best player in the world currently, but, well, he is currently the best player in the world. No one can tell me different. But, when you have the other guy at number 1, when you have Jokic at number 1, who put up a historic season, never seen, blah, 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 however you want to glaze his season last year, and he's beating it this year, you want to talk about an alien, dude.
Yeah.
This dude you want to talk about God created Wemby to play? Jokic was crafted in a lab because this motherfucker hates his job and all he wants to do is ride horses. And the best player in the world's side hustle is being the best player in the world. That's what's insane to me. So, yeah, I got SGA at 2. I'm also going to tell you I think he's the best leader because for what he's had to put up with this team and their bitching and moaning and intent to injure and everything under the sun that this team has gone through, and SGA just goes, fuck it, we ball. He's at 2, and it's very fucking close, but I will not discredit the generational peak, which everyone wants to talk about peaks nowadays and say SGA's peak is insane. Jokic has the greatest peak of all time, and I really feel like it's just not going to be touched.
I also want to say that SGA is a saint for being in that locker room with Lou Dort and Chet Holmgren and not going insane. So
There's nothing wrong with Chet Holmgren.
Chet is the biggest cornball I have ever seen.
Oh, it's not Tatum anymore. Got it.
Bro.
Have you heard you talk sports?
I'll take it.
What'd
That's
you
a
say?
W.
You need me to make a cornball list? Because I can put you at 1 real fast.
You can try. Anyways,
It goes 2, then Glor, then Vontez Perfect.
Yeah, you can try.
I'm not on the list.
No, you need to eat some corn, string bean.
Oh. Sadly, I got Nikola Jokic number 2, fellas. Ever since coming back from injury, Nikola Jokic has not been the same player. Nikola Jokic's efficiencies have gone down. He's now dealing with some wrist injury, which is affecting his float game, his post hooks, all that. The efficiency.
Are you Lou Dort taxing?
No. It's his wrist.
Yeah, prior.
Yeah, it was prior to that. Come on.
It's the rest, yeah.
It's a Draymond Green tax, then.
So I'm talking with JB. I've noticed it while watching their games as well. Shout out JB. He's having to keep that wrist warm in order to be effective. Sure, I think he can edge out at the end of the season to be the best player. But at the same time, right now, I can't do it. I have to go SGA number 1.
Don't be an edgelord.
This is where I also have Jokic, and it's because of the injury specifically, and it's because of the wrist, because of the fact that since he's come back, he's still putting up triple doubles. I do understand that. But it's like Russell Westbrook triple doubles, where it's inefficient, and he's trying to stat that just to try to keep them in the game, and they still lose. And it's the fact that, again, that historic mid range, that like 5 to 7 foot floater that was just absurd, that Jokic has mastered for the past several years, is now looked normalized, is concerning in a playoff setting. And I love Jokic because normally I would have Jokic as the best player in the world. I'm with that 100%. And I usually don't care about games played, but literally it's just because since he's came back, and I don't think he looks the same. I think he's forcing his weight. I think he's forcing the ball. I think there's a lot of stuff that I think he's now becoming inherently looking at to start caring a lot more, and he's forcing it. And Jokic doesn't do his best when he's forcing. It's more when he's natural and laid back, and it's just coming to him. Pause. And like all this kind of stuff where like Jokic is just so like it's the most like slowed down kind of game that it's the easiest kind of thing, and when he speeds himself up, it's just not the same. The stats look the same, but it just doesn't look the same. I'm sorry. It's so fucking close. It was very, very hard for me. This was the other change that I had in my top 10, if you guys remember that I said. But I have the other guy over.
Got it. So we're just inversed on those.
So as far as the number 1 is concerned, obviously Justin and I have Jokic and you guys have Shea. I'll just make my argument for Jokic. And also I will also say that I'm going to change where Kawhi is on my list. I don't know where, but he's going to be a lot higher because I've been moved. But that being said,
you're welcome.
As far as Jokic is concerned,
the point of this podcast is to educate casuals, so I'm glad we could do that for at least one.
Yeah, holy coke. Anyway, yikes. Yeah, you thought you had something there. Anyways, As far as this is concerned, Jokic is 6th in the league in points per game. He's 1st in rebounds per game, 1st in assists per game. He's 11th in field goal percentage. He's giving you 40% from the three, 82% from free throw. He's one of the greatest facilitators we've ever seen touch a basketball. As far as I'm concerned, like, I understand the criticisms of, like, the injury. I think he's just recovering. I think he'll be fine. Like, if you give him, like, he's still got 20 games to polish it out, get right, get healthy. I think he'll be okay. And that's why, Jules, you have the Nuggets winning the finals, because you think that he's going to get right, he's going to do that. And as far as I'm concerned, I still think that, like, you can't really take, like, what he's done this season away from him just because of, like, what his form is temporarily. And so, for me, it's like, Jokic, for the majority of this season, is outstanding. I like, and I get the games missed argument, because for me, how it was is, before he missed those games, he was, for me, by far and away the MVP. And the only reason why I grant that to Shea now is because of the missed games. I just think that Jokic is still the best player in the world. I think he has been for years. He defines what the 2020s are. To me, he's outstanding. I agree with Justin. His offensive peak is unmatched, probably. And I think that it is a privilege to watch him play, and I have him as the best player in the league.
Okay. Justin, you want to ride his dick a little bit more or no?
I mean, you are on one tonight. I don't know what's up with you. You are Carl Anthony Jules tonight. I swear to God. Yeah, he's the best player in the world, or he's the best basketball player in the world. The best player in the world right now is Jack Hughes. Canada, it's been 2 weeks and we still haven't forgotten.
Amen. Actually, it's Connor Hallebuck, but Jack Hughes is second.
I just want that to be clear. We haven't forgotten, and you thought it would pass. It's not going to happen. Next week's episode, I will have a USA Hockey jersey hanging behind my head, so we won't forget. I told you it's Freebird and Canadian Tears for 4 years, and even if we only have 10 people watching this, we can post clips where I still have it there, and I will post Freebird in every single one of them, because fuck you, Canada.
Gunner.
This is where I have Grant Batman Williams. You know?
I mean, overrated role player of all time.
Whoa. No. It was all part of the plan. Shitting on Jimmy Butler.
True.
It was. I mean, has anyone else outperformed Giannis in a Game 7 like he did? That's all I'm gonna say. Nah, I got SGA. Honestly,
Chris Paul was the best player on the Bucks in that Game 7. What the fuck are you talking about?
I mean, sure, whatever makes you feel better at night.
It doesn't. I hate
Gunner. Listen, he's a casual. Just don't mind him. Just continue.
Anyways, SGA.
He's the best guard.
This
top 5.
Like Gunner go.
This SGA peak might be the highest peak we have for a point guard ever. If he goes far and translates and rises in this playoffs, I can't deny that. I was really high on Jokic. I had him being the MVP. I have Denver still winning the finals, but if he translates, rises, and wins that finals on fucking insane shit, I can't deny SGA as the best player in the world.
Again, why I have SGA, and again, this was a recent change because of how Denver has looked. I'll just say this right now because Retro mentioned it. I had Jokic as winning the MVP before. Now I think SGA is definitively there. And we're also robbed of a historic MVP race between Jokic and SGA yet again, because they both doubled down on what they did last year, regardless of people who think that Jokic should have won last year, and SGA shouldn't. They doubled down and said, here we go again, and they both got better, and here we are now. So SGA, again, the stats don't always tell the story. Again, the efficiencies don't always tell the story. All this kind of stuff. SGA has been tremendous. I do think he's having arguably a top 3 peak My only pushback is I do think that he's going to struggle in the playoffs because even though he's very, a dependable half-court guy, Steph Castle, has made him his bitch. So that's my thing on that. But SGA is a tremendous player. And again, I think by the end of the year, I'll probably flip back to Jokic. But just right now, after 8 games after the All-Star break and after this skid, I have SGA as being the best player, but it could easily go back to Jokic if Jokic, the 20 games, he has got a 20 game sample size, which is, fair enough. I'm totally with it. So I hope that he gets it back because I am a Jokic over SGA guy. Normally, I just think SGA has been a slightly better because of how much Jokic has fallen off, and it's unfortunate, but he can make up for the gap.
And
but that was
I was going to say also, real quick, shout out SGA for flying up the all-time rankings because, my goodness, I every year it's just better and better and better. He's insane. There's no doubt about it.
But that was our rookies, our teams, and our top 10 players. Definitely
2.5 hours later.
Yeah, we got to talk it up. We get to chop it up. And this is kind of stuff that I like, sharing our opinions and not shitting on each other normally, because we usually like to do that shit. We like to troll, but having a fair conversation.
What you got?
Go ahead.
Well, I don't troll. Everything I say is true. I don't lie.
Look,
I don't rage bait, right?
I don't rage bait. Josh Giddey's a top 5 guard in the East. Josh Giddey's the best guard in the East. The Bulls are gonna win. Then shut the fuck up. Clown.
This seems like cope and also seething. Can you please tell me what your games are, sir?
No, you're not allowed to participate because you're a liar.
Do you have games on your phone, Justin?
No, they're on my laptop. All right, so 2000s hypothetical duos.
Yes. Yes.
Boy, if you thought the 2010s was nasty, this got fun fast.
Yeah, wait, what was the Kyle Lowry and what was it, Rudy Gobert?
Yeah.
Disgusting. So
yes, I am moved.
Oh my god.
Wait for this shit.
Pick 3, cut 5. First one up is Iverson and Shaq.
Oh my lord.
That's a tough one.
Holy fucking
Jules, there's no way we can cut that, right?
Holy hard carry from Shaq because Iverson's just not doing dick.
I don't trust the playmaking.
But at the same time,
he can't even play make.
That's what I mean.
He can't even do it.
At the same time, though, the scoring output between the two is going to be absurd. I don't know. I feel like it gets to a point. I don't know.
We're starting this shit with
because I know Justin. This might be
God.
Yeah, I'm gonna cut this.
I'm cutting.
This might be a cut.
Well, all right, we'll see.
Okay. Nash and Duncan.
Oh.
I'm moved.
I know. I kind of like that. Nash's traditional.
That could work. That would work, Jules.
They're just both traditional fundamental players. I like that. That's.
I'm with Nash and Duncan. I'll keep
the big fundamental and the little fundamental.
Yeah, exactly. You can have a Nash instead of Tony Parker.
Fuck TP.
All right. Cool. So again, remember this is 2000s. So before anyone goes crazy, Melo and Dwight Howard.
Well, I mean that is the best version of Melo.
Yeah. It is the best version of Melo, but is that the best version of Dwight? It's
no,
08-09.
You'd argue 09, but I'd say it's 10-11. So now I win.
Cut.
So yeah, I'd cut.
Yeah.
Wade and Dirk.
Oh,
that's
fuck.
that's like cursed. I don't like that. That's cursed. I don't like
hate both of them too, bro.
But you get 06. Think about 06, Jules.
Yeah, 2 negatives make up. Jules, 2 negatives make a positive here, though.
You're right. Holy
The playoff
fucking-
rising.
Holy averaging 30 free throws by themselves duo I've ever seen in my life.
Yep,
Jesus
that's what I mean.
Christ.
Is this in a playoff setting?
Jules, this would
Nah,
at
just
least
do
be
it.
40.
Okay.
They're getting 20 apiece.
If this is
No, literally, bro.
if this is in a playoff setting, this is like an instant keep.
You sure about that?
Yeah,
Wade.
are you? Yeah, 09 and Wade exists against the Hawks.
We're talking like peak.
What is Wade's peak? What is Wade's
What's
peak?
Wade's peak?
When he carries the Heat without
That's
the
not
Heat.
his peak.
That's
You don't
not
think
his
so?
peak.
No.
No.
Okay.
I'm cutting this shit. Fuck that.
I'm like, if it's just straight 06, I'd be so moved.
I
But
know,
it's
I
not.
know. My guy gotta be here, and I'm just waiting for him.
I'm
My guy
gonna
gotta
say
be
cut. I'm gonna say
Okay,
cut.
listen, I would keep
Sorry,
this one.
Retro.
Okay. All right, that's
I don't
fine.
think your guy is here, Jules. I'm going to be honest with you.
What?
Uh oh.
LeBron James and Amari Stoudemire.
Oh,
Okay. That's just
Holy
weird.
bro-
holy offense! It's interesting. I'm kind
You
of
know what agenda Justin's trying to push? I know what he's trying to push.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I know you know what I'm talking about.
Would you care to explain for the fans?
And this motherfucker put his fucking Suns players against Spurs and my GOAT, so he wants me to pick them.
That was not even in the cards on this one, Chief.
I
Should-
disagree. I think
No,
you're...
Nash and Duncan I just thought was probably the nastiest combination out of this era.
retro. If you're thinking that, I'm in the middle on this.
Gunnar,
I-
the thing, I'm not thinking it for any logical reason. I just hate LeBron, so
Oh.
you take that with what you will.
Like 09's arguably LeBron's best offensive year.
and they can run PNR pretty well. 'cause
Pretty fucking
LeBron's a
Here's-
better-
If we cut this, how many do we have left? Let's say we cut it.
You have two keeps with three. You have 2 keeps with 3 names to hear after this one. If you cut it,
And if we kept it, we would only have 1 keep for 3 names. That's
Yep.
I'm in favor of cutting. That's my vote.
I think that's fine.
All right,
I'll cut this.
Jason Kidd and Yao Ming.
Holy cut next.
Yeah, that's a fucking cut and a half. What?
Holy
Hold on.
shit.
Hold on. What is the logic behind that? Because Yao Ming can't play the
It's
transition.
just hypothetical duos. I just throw
Yeah,
people together. for fun.
but Yao Ming can't play the transition.
That's the easiest cut I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah,
I love J Kid is cool, but
it's
Jesus
Yao
Christ.
Ming. It's Yao fucking Ming.
No, you're literally just getting Jason Kidd. You're just
Yeah.
getting Jason Kidd. Yao Ming don't play. What the fuck?
No, bro, don't hate on Yao Ming.
No, fuck. No, Yao Ming is so overrated, bro. Fuck.
Well, I mean, I agree, but he's awesome.
So you're keeping the
Yao
last.
Ming is the... I'm
Yeah.
comfortable keeping the last
Alright.
2. I want you to know before you go, Yao Ming is the Asian Derrick Rose. Thank you.
Don't do D Rose like that.
Yeah,
please.
Justin, I said it. I said
don't-
it. You're
I don't-
smiling because it's
I
true.
don't-
Thank
I
you.
don't want to play no more.
They're relative to each other all the time. Uh-oh.
So you cut Iverson and Shaq, you cut Melo and Dwight, you cut Wade and Dirk, you cut LeBron and Stoudemire, you cut Kidd and Yao to keep Nash and Duncan, Ray Allen and Ben Wallace, and Kobe and T-Mac.
I'm kind of moved. I'm moved.
Okay.
That's not
Kobe-
bad. Shout out Ray
That's-
Allen. Shout out Ben Wallace.
Yeah.
All right,
That's
so
okay.
this one, we're gonna play the player chain game. I'm gonna give you
Fuck.
the teams that all these guys played for, and you have to guess the player.
Okay.
Oh, that's you guys are the
There
historians here.
are 3 medium or 3 easy-ish, 2 medium, and 1 hard. So basically, it's gonna work like if I said this player went OKC to Golden State to Brooklyn to Phoenix to Houston.
Katie.
Katie, right. But, however, these names ain't gonna be that easy. The first one up, the Clippers to Minnesota to Phoenix to Brooklyn. By the way, you get no questions.
There's two. Who the fuck is this?
That's what I'm trying. I don't.
Clippers to Minnesota to Phoenix to Brooklyn.
Minnesota players. Or not Minnesota Clippers.
We get no questions. So we can't ask if they're playing right now.
That's what I'm trying
to my
to think.
knowledge, none of these players are active players.
Okay.
None of them are active. Okay.
Okay. Well,
I was literally thinking just current.
Who the fuck who's starting their career on the Clippers to go Minnesota though? Or Minnesota to Phoenix?
you're like Montrezl Harrell or something.
That's because it'd be.
Oh, sorry. Hold on. Let me recorrect this chain. There's a little more to this.
Oh.
So it's actually. Holy fuck. It's Chicago to New York to Golden State to Atlanta to Portland to the Clippers to Minnesota to Phoenix to Brooklyn.
What? Chicago to New York.
Chicago
Warriors
to the Knicks to the Warriors to Atlanta to Portland to the Clippers to Minnesota to Phoenix to Brooklyn.
My God. Went on a journey.
Fucking. Oh, what's his name? Fuck. Minnesota, like early 2010s guy. Fucking. Name starts with a J, I believe.
No.
No?
Not Minnesota early 2010s.
Okay.
I'll give you guys this. For every player, you can ask how long he played for one team.
How long did he play? Can I
You're gonna burn your question on it?
That's
No,
crazy.
wait.
Let's.
Jules, you better not be using your computer, dude.
No, because I'm looking at the drafts. So because you said Chicago.
Retro, if you burn the question, you burn the question.
No,
I want to use the draft.
All right,
yeah.
Yeah.
Or no. I don't want to use the question. The fuck?
No, I don't, because I don't want to burn, because these guys are the historian.
You get a question per player, so.
Okay.
Okay. For my question, I want to know how long he played for the Bulls.
1, 2, 3, 4 years.
Okay.
Rookie contract.
Alright, so he played out his rookie contract there, and the team declined to pick up his 5th-year option.
And then he went to New York.
So he's got to be mid. If his team is declining to pick up his option, that or he got hurt.
That's not true at all. What if it could be a max? Oh, he could have gotten paid the max.
You're right, Gunner. It could be the opposite. It could be that he got a max. Yeah, that's a good point.
And Chicago just doesn't want to pick it up.
Yeah, that's true. And he said he went from Chicago to New York.
I'm going to give you about 15 more seconds, and then you guys can each have a guess.
Fuck it. When did he, or how many years on Minnesota? Because I'm stuck on Minnesota for some reason.
1.
That fucks me, yeah.
I'm going to need a guess from each of you.
sounds like Derrick Rose's career, but it's all fucked up.
Yeah, it does.
Like, you fucked up the years and you fucked up the names, because that's the only player from Chicago that goes directly to New York.
To New York.
Like,
Jules, that is
Eddie
what
Curry.
I was thinking D Rose, but I was like, there's no way.
Okay.
Is it Eddie Curry?
It could be Eddie
It is
Curry.
not Eddie Curry. Jules is out. Gunner?
I ain't
Just
got
throw
a
a name.
I had a fucking like
Retro?
Jordan Kinney, but I know it ain't him.
Bro, give me Brian Scalabrine.
Nope.
Nah, he's starting in the Nets. Who the fuck is this? I had fucking Jordan McKee or whatever his fucking name is.
All right, so the
2010s,
player you're looking for here is Jamal Crawford.
Oh.
That makes.
Was he drafted? What?
I didn't think he was drafted to New York.
I did not know Chicago had him first.
No, Chicago had him first, but I thought he was a draft day trade.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah, am I tripping? Is that why I got fucked up?
What I have is Chicago 2000 with him.
He was drafted by the Cavs and then traded.
Yeah, that's why we got fucked.
You motherfucker, Justin.
I'm sorry, did something happen?
Oh.
Holy fucking L host. Get hanging on the rim, bro.
Hold on. L host, it's not my fault that he didn't play a game with the Cavs.
I was going to say, to be fair, he said years played. He didn't say years drafted. He said years played. He played for the Bulls.
Learn to listen. I know that's a hard skill sometimes. The next player. Boston to Minnesota to Houston to Dallas to the Nets to Indiana to Phoenix, Miami, back to Boston, back to Houston.
What?
I mean, I had Uncle Jeff for a second, and now I know it's not Uncle Jeff.
I don't know. For some reason, my brain said Haslam, but I know it's not Haslam. He's just old.
I'll repeat it one more time. Boston to Minnesota, Minnesota to Houston, Houston to Dallas. New Jersey Nets. That's kind of a big key there.
That's huge.
Then to the Pacers, Suns, Heat, back to the Celtics, and then to Houston.
I guess I'll burn my question early. How long was he on the Nets?
1 year.
Okay. So he was in out. All right.
Give me first stint Boston.
2.5 years.
Trade figures. Fuck.
Fuck, dude. I was initially gonna say Jeff Green, but now I'm just off that shit.
It's fuck. I'm swearing he starts his career in the no. He starts his career late 90s. I know that. I'm pretty sure it's late 90s.
That's a guess because we said his last name.
Did we?
Is it Gerald Green?
It's Gerald Green.
Oh shit. Okay.
Because I remember his stint in
I was thinking
the
of
fucking
another
Nets.
guy.
That's why he said. That's why it's significant because that's when he does the windmill dunk.
I was thinking fucking fuck, who's on that? There's someone on the late 90s Celtics that goes to New Jersey.
All right. This one you get one question between the three of you because it's less teams.
Okay.
Memphis to Houston, back to Memphis, Miami.
Memphis, Houston, Memphis, Miami. Memphis.
I'll burn my first question. How long was he in Memphis?
You get one question shared between the three of you for this one.
We might want to work together on this.
Nope. Y'all got it. Y'all two got it.
Oh,
Oh,
I think this fucking wait. Wait. Um. I no, never mind. I don't want to throw out that question, but I have a strong idea who it is. He was
you
on.
want
He was
You
the.
can
I
take,
think he was
you
the
can
running
take
mate
a
of.
guess, and if you're right, you're right. If you're wrong, you're out. Then you can't discuss with them.
Oh, okay.
Jules?
Then
Jules,
uh,
the problem is you need to stay in because I have no clue.
well,
So
no, well,
Retro, just
fuck
try
you,
to use
Retro.
your
Stop
brain
being a
though, because
Jules
this is
merchant.
actually a creative ass idea.
Um,
No, I'm gonna say it because I want Retro to stop sucking my nipple like a fucking child.
Fuck.
what am I supposed to do? I don't know hoops history like
Is
that, bro.
this Shane Battier?
This
I
is
was
Shane
gonna say
Battier.
Shane. I was gonna ask you, Jules. You want to do the Miami stint? Because that's
No,
what would have
well,
given it to me.
What gave it away was Houston back to Memphis, and I'm like, oh yeah, because he had that second stint.
I forget the second stint in Memphis.
All right,
Everybody does.
That's 3 down. We have 3 to go. Philly to Sacramento to Chicago to Milwaukee, back to Sacramento to Toronto to New Orleans.
God, what a poverty. That's unfortunate. How do you go back?
I don't.
To
I know my
don't.
Philly people. I'm going to double check.
He said, "I know
You're
my
like, I
Philly
know this career. I know my Philly people, Miles. Thank you. Wait. Wait, I'm sorry. Repeat the teams again. You said Philly.
Philly to Sacramento to Chicago to Milwaukee, back to Sacramento, Toronto, New Orleans."
Oh fuck, you lost. Fuck. I thought this was fucking one of the buffs in Philly. Fuck.
I was thinking that as well. With you were thinking Jahil, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Wait, doesn't Jahil go to the fucking? He maybe he's
was
not on
never
the.
a Buck.
Oh,
Yeah, he wasn't
Buck.
a Buck.
I didn't hear Buck. My bad.
That's why I'm like repeat the teams because
He was great on Duke, though.
Shut up.
This is a monster on Duke.
You might as well do your outro and leave so these two can
I
finish
have
this.
no fucking.
Because you're not even
This
trying
is
to help.
fucking.
Well, I don't know. Okay, bro. I don't know that much about like the history of like niche players. That's not really my
Niche might be an understatement here.
Oh, well, there you go.
what's throwing me off is the fucking Bucks.
I grabbed a bunch of random players for you. I can't lie.
Nice.
Yep.
Wait, hold on. I just want to double check this guy. No, was this guy a fucking king? If this guy was a king twice, I'm gonna fucking lose it.
I have no clue, Jules. I'm gonna be straight up honest.
You're out.
I'm going
Retro's
to
out.
lose it.
Jules,
My guess.
you didn't.
What's
Nobody
throwing me
asked.
off is
Nobody asked the question yet.
yeah, I know.
Jules, do you
Can
want to
we
know how
ask?
long? Do you want to know how long he was in Philly for?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4 years.
Oh, that fucking eliminates like half the people I fucking had.
I'll give you a hint. In one of those years, he played all 82 games.
In one of those years.
That's not going to help fuck all for this, so that's the best part of it.
No, it doesn't fucking fuck. I'm gonna give up. I'm gonna say fucking Evan Turner and just call him out.
Nope. Again, random ass names. This is John Salmons.
Yeah,
okay.
Justin, for sure. I definitely could have helped with John Salmons.
No,
yeah, man. Absolutely.
John Salmons, fucking good role player, man.
Yep, 43% career shooter.
He is.
Yeah.
All right,
For
next
sure.
up. Orlando to Memphis to Minnesota to Washington to Miami, back to Memphis to Cleveland to Denver.
I want the Miami years myself.
3 years.
Okay. Orlando, Memphis to
Orlando to Memphis to Minnesota to Washington to Miami, back to Memphis, Cleveland, Denver.
3 years.
Bro, you're ending your career in Denver, bro. And you're starting it in fucking Orlando? What the fuck?
Jules, you want to ask how long you've been on a certain team for?
I want to ask how long he was in Memphis for.
Which stint?
The first one.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years.
Oh, so he's probably gonna be known as fucking Grizzly. Okay.
So you're just so shocked right now. It's not even funny. Retro's just sitting there with the flag and Freebirds playing in his head.
Yeah.
I have.
I'll read it one more time.
Retro,
you can ask a question since you're not helping.
I feel like he's a a part of the big three.
Can you name the teams again, Justin?
Orlando, Memphis, Minnesota, Washington, Miami, Memphis, Cleveland, Denver.
Okay, is this like a random player?
Yes, of
Possibly.
course.
Yes, of course. Most likely it is. Is.
Oh, okay. Well. See a long
Wizards to.
You could ask a question about
Miami.
one of the teams to potentially help them.
Okay. Well,
there's two names that come to my mind. Is
there a specific team that you want more information on for how long the season was?
I think I'm down to 2 players.
Oh, Jules has it.
I think I have it. Is it Juwan?
No. Is it Juwan?
Gunner's out.
Gunner's out. Okay. Is it the guy who's the best 3-point shooter with one shoe on, Mike Miller?
It is Mike Miller.
It was. I was down between those two. I was between Juwan.
I was with Mike Miller and fucking Kyle Quinn, but I'm like, Kyle Quinn's fucking career is so nasty. There's no way.
You're forgetting.
I love Kyle Quinn. Facts.
Fuck you.
Big fan of Kyle Quinn.
Just want to check something quick before I say something wrong to make sure. Yep. Okay, that's what I thought it meant. All right, the last one. Sacramento to Phoenix to Boston to Cleveland to the Lakers to Denver to Washington to New Orleans Pelicans to Lakers to Dallas to Charlotte Hornets and finished in Phoenix.
My God. How long was he on Sacramento as for his first stint? That's my question.
3 years.
So he didn't play out the whole rookie contract.
Give me Boston.
1, 2, 3 years.
3 years Boston.
Dude, this guy must be an unk, bro. Freaking. He's got a lot of teams on that resume.
3 years of Boston. So Boston teams for 3 years in that.
But you said the Pelicans specifically, which means he's a more modern player.
Not necessarily.
He's played on the Pelicans and the Hornets.
Interesting.
That's what I meant. Yeah.
I'll read it one more time. Sacramento to Phoenix to Boston to Cleveland to LA Lakers to Denver to Washington to New Orleans Pelicans to Lakers to Dallas to Charlotte Hornets to Phoenix. I'm going to say this right now. There are 1, 2, 3 irrelevant teams in this.
Well, it's not going to be Sacramento or Boston because those are 3 years apiece.
Because for one team he played 3 games, for another he played 4, and for another he played 1.
That's nasty.
That is.
Potentially the most notariable player out of anybody that you guys have had so far. Jules, you still have your question.
So is he just like known for being a journeyman? He's just like a notable journeyman?
Because I'm trying to. Okay. How long
Suns to Boston.
No,
3 years in Boston.
3 years in
Justin, where does Connor Hellebuck play?
Where?
But yeah, where does he? What team?
Winnipeg, I believe.
Word. Ugh, he plays for a Canadian team.
Yeah. So it's actually no. That was the whole lore behind it that they joked about during the game. Jordan Binnington, the goalie for Canada, plays for the St. Louis Blues, and Hellebuck plays for Winnipeg. So Binnington gets to come back to St. Louis and get cheered for losing, and Hellebuck gets to go back and get booed for winning.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Jules, any thoughts?
By the way, boys, we just hit 3 hours.
Yep.
How many years on the Hornets did he play?
How many years on the Hornets did he play? 1.
The longest episode by far.
Here, let me connect this for you where I'll take out the irrelevant teams and I'll tell you something about one of these teams. Sacramento to Phoenix to Boston to Cleveland to the Lakers to Denver to Washington. Skip 2 years to the Charlotte Hornets, and then finished in Phoenix where he played 6 games and I believe averaged 3 minutes.
This Isaiah Thomas.
This is Isaiah Thomas.
That's where I was like thinking Jay Crowder or Isaiah Thomas. It sounds like that Celtics team. I just couldn't pick it out until you said that.
Yeah, I was thinking either him or what's homeboy's name? Fucking Thomas Robertson. But I'm like, I don't know if fucking IT was a Hornet.
He was, Jules. He was.
And Thomas Robinson.
Yeah,
I mean,
hold on. Let me just read this to you real quick because it's actually kind of disgusting. So, IT played the first 3 years with Sacramento in a 2-team trade in 14-15 to Phoenix and to Boston, both in trades. Played with Boston for the next 2.5 years. Then he was traded to Cleveland, played 15 games. Traded to the Lakers, played 17 games. Traded to Denver, played 12. Then he played 40 for the Wizards. The next season, he played 3 games for the Pelicans. Was traded 3 times, where he played 4 games for the Lakers, 1 game for Dallas, and 17 for Charlotte. Did not play the 2022-2023 season, and in 23-24 played with Phoenix for 6 games and averaged 3.2 minutes.
Was he traded? I thought he was like cut and waived multiple times at the end of his year. Was he actually traded?
It says 3-team trade. That's why.
Isaiah Thomas got hooked. Isaiah Thomas was MVP.
He was waived multiple times, yes.
Did you say the Lakers in that or no? I didn't say the Lakers.
Yeah, he said the Lakers.
I will if I could have had that if I heard Lakers. if I wasn't deaf.
All right. History fact of the day. Gotta get to the second now. Technically, we're on the third now because it's fucking ass crack of dawn after a 3-hour episode.
I would just like to remind everybody Isaiah Thomas averaged 29 in a year.
Jules, running theme. Who do you think the fact of the day is about?
Wilt fucking Chamberlain.
Wilt fucking Chamberlain.
Sounds
I know
about
this
right.
one.
March 3rd, 1962. Wilt Chamberlain scores 100 points, the most ever by an NBA player in a single game in the Warriors' 169-147 win over the Knicks in Hershey, Pennsylvania. 36 of 63 from the field, 28 of 32 from the free throw line.
Solidifying his GOAT argument.
Solidifying his free throw merchant argument.
Solidifying his stealing his teammates' shots out of the air and putting it in the basket.
There you go.
Paul Anderson, my GOAT for real.
I knew
Facts.
the list. Retro,
And-
you said we just crossed the 3-hour mark. I was like, immediately, I'm like, yep, well, we're doing a list episode, so by the time we get to my shit, it'll either be 2.5 hours or,
Yeah, congratulations, Gunnar. You have been a part of the longest We Don't Know Ball episode by a country mile.
Gunnar, congratulations. You've been on We Don't Know Ball longer than Retrospect Music.
But, by the way, I would like to point out for the record that Justin has canceled more episodes than I have because he hasn't been on, and we just didn't have those episodes.
Yeah, hey,
Because-
Gunnar. So here, let me ask you this: when a co-host is missing, you don't run the show. But when a guest can't make it, you still run the show or find a new guest. Am I wrong?
I mean, you're not wrong. I've left my co-host dry for the past 2 weeks.
Jules and I have ran an episode by ourselves.
Yeah, I bring the views. Anyways, Jules, run it out. Go ahead, Jules, run it out.
With
Now
that,
I'm
guys, that was
convinced
We Don't Know
box our account.
Facts. With that, guys, that was We Don't Know Ball. That was Basketball List. Again, if you've gone it this far, I doubt you guys are. Please like, subscribe, comment, and let us know if we don't know ball.
If you
with
did
that,
comment, Retro's a casual.
And
Amen.
if you
Facts.
did comment, please tell me who to replace Justin with for the next episode. Let us know.
With that was We Don't Know Ball. We'll see you guys next week.
I mean,